doing really small scale stuff. My mom's a jazzercise instructor, so I was like DJing her like classes and stuff, and her like parties at her facility, stuff like that. So in no way was I ready for the moment of emceeing and stuff, but I sold myself like I was David Guetta in that little survey thing, and then I just took a chance, and then from then on, dude, it just kind of spiraled into doing a lot of club things. I did some music festivals.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 7 of the Brochure List. We're here with another guest, a long-time now friend of mine. I didn't realize how old we're getting, but now a long-time friend of mine, Nico Gonzalez. Some may know him as Sneako, the DJ out of, Salt Lake City, Utah. How's it going, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Super stoked to be on the show. I love what you guys are doing these last couple months, and yeah, super stoked to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
So you are a DJ, man. What's being a DJ like?
Oh, man, that's a really good question, because I didn't fully commit to becoming like a full-time DJ until this past year. I had been working, just some 9-to-5s, just stuff to make money. But these last couple months, I've gotten some really cool opportunities and stuff that have really, kind of shifted my brain into like, okay, this could actually be full time. So right now it's crazy, because now it's like every gig means a little more, because it's like that's a rent payment and stuff now more so. It's not just a hobby as much anymore. So it's been crazy. It's been a wild journey, man. Like I got my first board when I was 14. From Kohl's. My godmother got it for me.
Shout out Kohl's. I used to manage one. Let's go.
Shout out Kohl's Cash. I think that's what she used to pay for it.
When you say like board, like one of those like things that you DJ on?
Yeah, like it was like a plug-in, like USB directly into. I didn't even have a laptop at the time. I used my mom's.
That was $79.99.
I used my mom's Toshiba computer because I didn't have a laptop, and yeah, we just plug it in. And then, yeah, dude, I'm turning 25 this year, so like 10 years now, but really getting more serious like this last couple years.
That's fire. So I know I saw, and I didn't know you were DJing until like I ended up finding you again, because we didn't go to high school together. We met each other in middle school, and then we kind of started following each other on social media. And then I saw like you were doing like the color run and stuff like that. And I don't like what's settings are you primarily in? Are you like mostly doing like events? Do you prefer events? Are you doing like, I don't know, like club scene? I don't know like what you're like really into, or what you like to do, or your goal is, but
yeah, no,
you talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So luckily enough, in 2017, I had went to a color run in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And the dude that was on the stage doing like the emceeing and the DJing, he wasn't really DJing, he wasn't really emceeing, he was just playing like music off an aux, like a lot of college DJs do, quote unquote DJs. They just plug in an aux and that's it. And that's all he was doing. And I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, and he was just playing like bad music, like wasn't timing the drops right, stuff like that. And it really just like, I hated it. I hated like the experience. And I was like, dude, I could do that. I could do that, and I could make it even cooler. So after the event, you know how like the events send you a like how did we do survey at the end, like tell us how everything went. I filled one of those out, and I submitted it, never thinking.
Started roasting his ass, huh?
Basically, man. Like I was just like, hey, I was just in Ypsilanti. The dude that did it was good. I could do better. At the time I was living in Garden City. So I live in Garden City. I know you guys have a Grand Rapids event coming up at the end of July. Let me know if I could be incorporated in any way. And then that was like in May, and I didn't hear back from them until like a random ass night in July. And I was like, whoa. And the dude was like, hey, we saw your survey thing and we'd like to give you a shot. And then from then on, I took this opportunity. I crushed it. Grand Rapids was like a 8,000 people event. And that was like my first time ever really doing like a big event like that. I was more so, DJing grad parties at the time. Like doing really small scale stuff. My mom's a jazzercise instructor, so I was like DJing her like classes and stuff and her like parties at her facility, stuff like that. So in no way was I ready for the moment of, emceeing and stuff, but I sold myself like I was David Guetta in that little survey thing. And then, I just took a chance. And then from then on, dude, it just kind of spiraled into, doing a lot of club things. I did some music festivals. I DJ'd at Breakaway Music Festival in Grand Rapids, Prime Music.
I had a time in that. What year did you do that?
I did that in 2018 and 2019.
Dude, I think I was there.
Yeah.
I was there for night one with when Odessa did the live percussion.
Yeah. I performed that night. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I wish I would have known that was you up there. I was probably down there jamming.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, I got to do that. And then I got to do Prime in Lansing, which was super fun. And then from there, I just kept meeting a lot of really cool people. I got to give a shout out to this dude in Grand Rapids. His name's Christian Hoffer. His name's AKA Choff. He's on the radio. He was on the radio with iHeartRadio and stuff, and met him, became really good friends with him. And he got me connected with, a few different gigs that I do now. Like I DJ on the world's largest bounce house. It travels the entire country. It's called the Big Bounce America. And it travels all around the country. Like this weekend, I'm going to Albuquerque to DJ on this thing, and it's like 17,000 square feet, and it's like an all-day thing where like people of all ages come. During the day, it's all kids, and then at night, it's all the adults. And the adult sessions get super raunchy and super fun, and it's an awesome time. But for me, dude, I'm very open format. Like I'm very like I can do whatever whatever pays.
Gotta get that money.
Gotta get that money. That's what it's about.
That bread.
So
Absolutely.
when you're making these like mixes, like I've listened to a couple of your mixes, have you ever had to perform those live? Because it looks like you're MCing when you're up there. Like I've seen some of your Instagram videos, and you like have the microphone, you're MCing. So the mix that you made is obviously playing. Have you ever had to like do it live? Because I think DJing has taken a big step from back in like the 90s and the 80s, where they were actually like on the ones and twos, mixing it up to where it's more like the beat kits and different, like just changing the levels and going back and forth.
Yeah.
What is your like most enjoyable part or like style of DJing, I guess?
Yeah, great question. And I completely agree. I think DJing now has been so, simplified in a way where, anybody could DJ if they really, just downloaded a software. It's a very easy thing to do, but the more you practice, the better you become, the more the gigs come, stuff like that. All the mixes that you're referring to, those I record just like in my basement or in my studio. And then those are just like songs that I really enjoy that all work, put those together. And then, yeah, everything that I do is live. I never like go on stage and, just press play, or I try not to. There's events where, of course, I'll do it if it's like impossible to do both at the same time. But, for a color run and stuff where I'm emceeing and I'm DJing, it's all being done right then and there. And then, at the Big Bounce America thing as well, everything's being live there. I really enjoy, like silent discos. That's like my favorite thing to do. Silent discos, I think, are just so fun because you can interact with people in a way that is different because they're listening to you and you only. So like when you're emceeing and you're DJing into a silent disco, it's like you can control the narrative and the flow of like someone's entire night with that vibe and stuff. So if that's a good answer, I think that's kind of my preferred, like silent discos, little festival scene stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you do a silent disco, like what kind of like people are putting on, like what kind of people are requesting to do that? Because like is it like a corporate event or something like that? Like it sounds fun, don't get me wrong, but is it for the purpose of being quiet while wanting to like put on an event, or is it just like something like quirky to do?
That's exactly what it is. It's a quirky, like different, unique way to listen to music. So a lot of the stuff that I do are like universities with silent discos. There's this group that I work with called Headphone Disco, where they basically, Headphone Disco gets booked for, let's say, University of Michigan, and then they go and throw it at their, school auditorium, hall, whatever place they do events at. And 200, 300 kids come down, they put the headphones on. It's kind of funny. Like it's all quiet. Like you walk into the room and you see all these people dancing, but it's silent. And then you hear them singing to a song that is not playing out loud. It's super funny, and it's just it's a unique way, and a lot of people just have never even heard of them to this day still, that those type of things exist. Like I was just in Mexico on family vacation, and they had a silent disco at the resort, and there were these old people that are just like so confused as to what was going on. And I was like, this is so funny. And I think it's just a different way to, experience music, which is, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most thing that I like about DJing is just no matter the setting and stuff, you're able to interact with people in a way by just, simply playing music.
Yeah, I think I had seen an episode of the show Dave, and they were doing, and I think, was it Taco? The character that Taco plays?
Yeah.
He was DJ. And he did the silent disco, so it's funny that that's something that that's something that you do, and I had never looking back, I had never heard of that before, but since y'all had brought it up, I was like, I know that was familiar off the episode of Dave, so it's just cool that that's something you do, because I think that is you can hear the music, obviously through the headphones and whatnot, but I mean like just it's like silence. So it's just it's a good way to, like you said, for people to just vibe to the music in a different way. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys what I got. I haven't even posted this or anything, but I'll just say it on here. I got booked for Breakaway again this year.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah.
Breaking news.
On the bro.
You heard it here first.
Exclusive.
Get this soundbite. Yeah. No, I got booked for Breakaway again this year in Grand Rapids, so I'll be making my way back down there in August. So if you guys are interested, I'll probably be at the Silent Disco. So if you've never been, I think that's a perfect one to come to. You know what I'm saying?
I'd love to revisit
Yeah.
Breakaway. I had a time and a half there.
Yeah.
Freaking wild.
It's fun, man. It's a small little festival, and they get big names. They really do get big names.
Odesla's huge. And
massive.
They did a live percussion, and everyone like after their like finale, everyone started leaving, and my one boy who's like a super EDM head, he was like, "Don't leave yet, don't leave yet, wait for it." And then like there's like fireworks start going off, and we got like straight up front stage. So I definitely like my girl has people out in Grand Rapids and like has a place you can stay and everything. So and we were talking about possibly doing a little show one day. That was my first one, my first and only one. So I definitely want to experience it again.
Yeah, are you guys all do you guys all dabble in EDM here, or is everyone kind of what's everyone's music preferences?
That was my one show, and I listen to Big Booty Mix.
Big Booty Mix. Okay, that's a good. What about you, Aunt?
I mean, for me, I mean, I don't dabble into EDM music. I mean, like we had like I played college football, so like whenever it was on in the weight room, that was like pretty much the only time like we heard it.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, like it's a different sound. Like when the beat builds, like I'm with some of the songs, like you get like the chills and everything, because you like anticipating the beat, and then when it finally drops, you just see everybody just going crazy and everything. But like, for me, I haven't dabbled a lot in it, but I mean, like if it's on, I'm not gonna like knock it or anything.
Right.
Yeah, no, like for me, like EDM, it's just like for like a vibe. Like if a party's like going EDM, or like I'm somewhere where like people listen to EDM, like I'll bob my head, like I'll be vibing with them, but it's something that's like I don't really like put my headphones in and listen to. But I have had a music awakening recently. I've been dabbling in other stuff, because usually I just listen to hip hop and rap. But I have been listening to a lot of other stuff because I'm tired of rap. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm just growing up or like whatever it is, but like I'm tired of rap, so I might have to dabble a little bit in it. Yeah,
I feel that, dude. I think, and I think it is to note that like when people say EDM, a lot of people immediately think different genres and different things, because EDM is such a broad, vague name for the genre. So like me, I very much like my favorite type of stuff to do is like mashup. So like taking, very big booty mix vibe, as Toon would say, like it's very one popular top 40 song mixed with another top 40 song mixed with, a nice drop, and then mixed with another thing. I love, the wubby dubstep stuff to an extent. You'll never catch me listening to that stuff in my car. I think if it's like at a festival and I'm like 500 feet away and I'm not in the crowd, I think it's cool. But I think like when you think of EDM, a lot of people, think immediately dubstep or like hard trap, and that is a genre of EDM. But for me, I really much enjoy, the house vibes, the nice vibe. So that's what I like to stick to.
Yeah, I love house, and I
Yeah.
never listen to it. I'll never listen to it on my own, but like if I'm in a Hollister, like
Woo!
yeah, like I love house. I'm not like you said. I'm not a wubby guy. I really can't like really listen to that much. But house is fire, and I know like I've never been to Breakaway. I've been to one festival in my life, and it was Mopop in Detroit, and I really like Mopop. It's like
good
really
festival.
chill. They get a few big artists, and the rest is like I actually discovered quite a few when I went there. But I'm hoping to go back because they're getting K Tronada this year. Yeah, I think that's how you say it.
Oh hell yeah!
They're getting him this year, so I'm pretty psyched for that.
You love that one song,
Be Your Girl.
Be Your Girl.
That song
shit
is fire.
They got some big names coming to Mopop and Movement too. Like they just announced the Movement lineup too.
I think Big Sean's coming.
Yeah, 2 Chainz is at Movement.
I think Janae's gonna
Titty
come
Boy.
too.
Titty Boy.
Yeah, I think I love like the songs where like it can have the nice drops and stuff, but I love when there's like a good vocalist,
Yes.
in the song. That's my favorite type of EDM, I guess, is when there's good vocals involved. Because that wubby stuff make my nose bleed, bro. To every man their own. But like my one friend, we always go like on a ski trip together.
Yeah.
And he plays this shit, and all the other guys just like look at him and like, fuck you, Zach.
It's too much sometimes, man. But like when you think about like I don't know if you guys remember this like epic era of music, but it was like 2011 and Skrillex just came out with like the Cinema Benny Bossi remix and like the Scary Monsters and Nice Spirits song. And like when that came out, dude, that just absolutely changed the narrative of like electronic music because like dubstep was like around. But what Skrillex was doing was like blender noises mixed with car
it got
crashes.
super like mainstream too, and like I mean with ASAP Rocky, I mean I listened to a ton of like, and I probably wouldn't even listen to Skrillex anymore. But when it came out, I was for sure playing some like Modern Warfare, listening to Skrillex at like 2 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, bro. Like ASAP came out with Wild for the Night, and that blew up. And then you just had, just Avicii started to pop out, and then David Guetta and Kid Cudi mixed together. And it was just like, from then on, dude, it just all branched out into what it is now. And it's just like so crazy.
So is Kid Cudi, like, Kid Cudi probably one of my favorite artists ever. So EDM, like what, it's just electronic dance music or whatever, right? What Kid Cudi album would be like the most EDM? Do you know Kid Cudi off the top of your head?
I mean, not too like I like Cudi, but I don't listen to like Cudi a lot. Like I used to bump Man on the Moon in high school like all the time.
Whatever that Pursuit of Happiness was on.
Yeah, like I mean, Cudi.
Wasn't that a Guetta remix?
Steve Aoki,
Pursuit of Happiness.
Steve Aoki, and that
was
was
hard at parties, bro.
And the reason that blew up was because of Project X. So when Project X came out. And they had that remix, dude. Cudi was a part of that instrumental time for EDM too, because like Toon was saying, that song is like one of the biggest party songs of all time. You play that anywhere in any setting, people will know that, and that's kind of what got Kid Cudi's name like even more like out there and stuff. And then he did Sexy Chick with David Guetta, and then he just he was in that little phase of EDM, but. If you had to ask me a song that gives me EDM,
Cudi was Sexy Chick. I never knew. Wait, I never knew that.
Was it? No, it wasn't. No, not
think
Sexy
so.
Chick. That's Akon. I'm thinking of another one. Kid Cudi's in another one with Memories. All the crazy shit I did to. Yeah, like that one.
Are you? Oh yeah. And then
yeah.
you guys are talking about. So he came out with. So we're talking about Cudi came out with Pursuit of Happiness, but then there was like that boom bum 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 bum. That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes. So that was crazy. And then like Soundtrack to My Life, I feel has like kind of like an EDM vibe to it too, and that's like one of my all-time favorite songs ever. So. Yeah, kind of in a way, EDM, Cudi. He was involved right from the beginning.
Yeah, so I'm from the hood for real. So like, listening to Kid Cudi and that shit when I was like,
bro went to Catholic school just like you, bro.
No, I did go to a Catholic school. I was weird there too, but yeah, Kid Cudi was like my guy everywhere, and like people was like, "Why do you listen to this?" I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I love Cudi.
I love Cudi, but man, we got to forget about that Bullet album.
The
Bullets-
Speed Bullet 2 or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
was
was. You gotta throw that one out.
Whew, that one.
Throw that one.
Let's just never talk about it.
Tomato.
For sure.
So when you're doing these spots like the bounce house during the day, or I forget what the big bounce, is that what it was called?
The big bounce America.
And like the color run, and maybe some of these more general public events, or maybe I don't know, your crowd's a little more average folk.
Yeah.
What is like that like in terms of like you're trying to like have a good time, right? Especially, but then like you don't want to sit there and play YMCA at every event, you know? So like, what's that like?
Well, it's a lot of that, you know, that those first, so I'll put it into perspective. So the event runs from 9 to 9, you know, on Saturday. So at 9 to 12, and there's 4 DJs. It's not just me. So there's 4 other DJs, and we're all swapping out. So from 9 to 12, it's kids aged 6 to 10. So you're playing Baby Shark, you're playing Backyardigans. Instead of like, I found this sick Backyardigans trap remix that's nasty, has a nasty beat on it. So like you play that, you play like Frozen remixes, you know, stuff to make it a little more spicier, right? So then from 12 to 6, it's all teenagers. It's 10-year-olds to 16-year-olds. So then that age is good because they actually have kind of a musical ear. So they know a lot of the popular songs. They know, like right now, the big song is We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. And you just play that and kids go bananas. You play any top 40 hit, Olivia Rodrigo, you know, Lil Baby, any of that kind of stuff. You see these kids rapping and stuff. It's hilarious. And then when the adult sessions come on, it's like there's no rules, off limits. Like we have DJs that do strip clubs. We have DJs, you know, like myself that do colleges and stuff like that. Then there's other DJs that do a lot of radio stuff. So we're all like mixing and mashing, going back to back to back, really like making the vibe of the night great. You know, we're drinking up there. We're having a good time. So it's a plethora of music. And I think that's what I enjoy about it is like every day is different because you can't play the same songs all day because you'll bore your ear off. But I have an interesting story, and I think it'd be good to talk about on here. So I was DJing in Cincinnati with Big Bounce, and I played Industry Baby. And Industry Baby, you know, last year was the biggest song in the world. I mean, it took over with Lil Nas and Jack Harlow. And I played the song, and, you know, the chorus of Lil Nas and stuff. He's saying, like, then I went gay, yeah, stuff like that, right? So this mom comes up to me and she's like, "Why are you playing that song?" And I was like, what do you mean? And I played the clean version. Like I didn't play the fucking, you know, Jack Harlow version, ass cheek clap part. I played the clean version. But this mom came up, dude, and like she like tried to like almost belittle me in a way, saying that I'm not allowed to play that song because it influences her child. And stuff. But I look at her child, and her child knows the whole song, knows the clap part, knows everything. And I'm like, this isn't my fault. This isn't my fault. Like, and by the way, like, who are you to come tell me what I can and can't play? Like, it's the biggest song in the world right now. I'm gonna play this song. So, dude, it was just wild. So you deal with a lot of bullshit sometimes, stuff like that. Of course, you get the request guy that just needs to hear that song, you know.
That's
like,
me, bro. That's me.
With their phone,
me,
they're
bro.
like they put their phone up, like with the
That's me, bro.
Snapchat with the big
never
word.
be the
At the
request
bar.
guy, bro.
Bro,
I'll take
I'd be at Tin Roof, right on the little bar right there. Like,
That was me for sure.
Bro,
As soon as I get
okay,
drunk,
listen.
I'm like, please play Drake. Somebody play Drake.
And listen, like I'll always play. Like if someone asks, "Hey, like play me a song, play this song," I'll say, "Yeah, I got you." And like me, I'm not lying to you because if I'm DJing for 4 hours, by that second hour, third hour, you know, I'm starting to run out of ideas. So requests are nice. But at the same time, from someone who's not DJing, you know, there's a vibe that a DJ sets. So if I'm playing, you know, some nice housey vibes and everyone's dancing, like this past weekend, I was playing some nice groovy stuff. And this kid comes up and he asks, "Hey, can you play Careless Whisper by George Michael?" And I was like, oh, dude, I got you, but hold on. Like, I can't just drop that right now because the dance floor is going to clear. So he then 5-10 minutes go by. I'm like getting ready to transition the mood to a little more chill so people can chill out. You know, we were vibing. So I'm getting ready to play it, and this kid comes back up like, hey, man, why didn't you play my song? And I was like, hey, dude, like, and mind you, like, it's the middle of the party, so like the music's loud. I'm like crouching over, like, what? Saying like, what did you want? So then he again play Careless Whisper by George Michael. I was like, I got you, bro. Don't worry, I got you. So then I pissed him off because I couldn't download the original Careless Whisper. I couldn't find it. I couldn't get it. The Wi-Fi in the school was fucked up. I just couldn't download it in time. So I play this remix that I had. It's not a great remix, I will admit, but, you know, it satisfied him. It has the part with, like, tonight the music. It has that part in it and stuff. But he came over and he was like, bro, I can't believe you didn't play that song. And I was like, dude. I was like, leave me alone, man. Like, go enjoy the night, you know? Like, don't, like, I'll try to make your night as good as I can. But, like, when people come up repeatedly, it's just like, whew, it can get stressful sometimes.
Not playing that one song ruined that man whole night.
Oh, my. And that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, go home and listen to it 10 times. You know, like,
Right.
don't let me not playing it ruin your night, you know, because everyone else was vibing. That's like, just because I didn't play your 1980s song, I'm sorry.
Because the music.
It's a great song.
Great song.
It's a great song.
I
agree.
But yeah.
Not in the club.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, you got to be able to read the crowd, and that's like one of the hardest parts, you know. That's why I'm very hesitant to do weddings sometimes, you know, because weddings are so hard. Like, the pay is amazing, you know. The pay is the greatest part about it. People are willing to pay whatever for a good DJ at a party, at a wedding. But dude, the stress that goes into it, you know, the music having to be perfect, you know, like, someone's always upset at the volume. Someone's always upset at the song choice. You know, you never win. It's a stressful filled night. So weddings are very touchy with me. So it's like, if I get asked to do a wedding, I say, hey, this is the type of vibe I like. Like, I'll do whatever you ask, but like, don't ask me to do something that I'm like not truly comfortable with. Like, if you need a party to start, I can be your party starter. If you need like perfect, like, routine scheduling, you know, everyone walk down at this time, stuff like that. That's when stuff gets like little nitty gritty and like stressed for me.
Yeah. I feel like for my wedding, I'm going to have like a 50 song playlist though, but I feel like that's just controlling a little bit. But I feel like I'm going to have a whole playlist ready.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, people can, like, DJs charge a lot for weddings. Like, and I'll admit, I do charge a lot because it is, you know, it's a lot of work that goes into it. So it's like, if you like your own music and you have a Spotify, you know, someone had a really cool idea where, you know, you make a playlist on Spotify and then you share it to all your guests, like a collaborative playlist. And then people like pick your songs throughout the night. So by the time your wedding comes, you know, you have 750 songs in a playlist. You hit shuffle, you know, and see where the night goes.
Dabs ain't letting that happen, bro. He gonna have 50 Drake
I'm
songs.
like, at this point,
I don't blame you though, bro. You got to play views start to bottom, you know, like the whole thing.
Sneak Marvin's Room in there one time for
I
me.
think that's my favorite album.
On the
altogether.
wedding, you gonna divorce the night up? you gonna be thinking about your ex while you at the wedding?
Hey, bro,
I'm like Marvin's Room, just play it, just sneak it in.
Yeah, you walk down the aisle to keep the family close, bro. People be bawling their eyes out. People be like,
I'm dead. So are you in, like, I mean, you're doing, it seems like, a lot of traveling right now for like your gigs and stuff. I mean, do they like sponsor you? Are you like doing like a lot of do you have to, you know, foot the bill a lot yourself? Is it like really like grind mode trying to like find these like gigs? I don't know if you have like some type of like management or anything like that.
Yeah. So luckily, you know, I've met some really cool people, and through this big bounce, well, like the color runs and stuff, I book myself. The travel and everything is booked and paid for by them. So like, they ask me, hey, what time works to leave? I say this time. They say, what time do you need to be back? I say this time. They send me a flight in my inbox to my email. You know, I check in, add all my stuff. What's really nice is I add all the rewards points and stuff and the credit on that. So it's super nice.
Right.
And then for like Big Bounce and all these college gigs and stuff, I'm lucky to work with a group called Eventi DJs. And Eventi means adventure in Italian, I mean. And they they just book all these DJs from all across the country. There's DJs that stretch out as far east as the DMV area, all the way to Cali, and as high as Canada, and as low as Mexico too. So they have a big roster of DJs that have been in the industry as early as 1 year, and some for like 30 years. And, they pair up people that work well together, and they fly us out to wherever they need us. So it's really cool, because I've met so many cool DJ friends over the last, couple of years working with this group, people from all over the world as well, which has really just helped me to, continuously get the new and fresh gigs. 'Cause that's like the most important to me, is diversifying my weekends. It's nice to go to a color run every single weekend, but it's also nice to go to like do a color run, then you do a college show, then you go and do a big bounce, and then you come back home and rest for a weekend. So just diversifying the weekends as much as I can, and like I said, man, at the end of the day, it's about making money and making the connections.
Right.
That's one thing about that EDM community. Like, from the one concert I did go to, and even like the EDM, like, I don't want to say people, but the people who really resonate with that, that group, they are so fucking nice.
Yeah.
They will, they'll get you a sandwich if you need one real quick, or a bottle of water, definitely. So I think that community itself is so nice that it must be easy to make connections like that.
Yeah, it's really cool, because you're right. They are, extremely nice people, especially in the festival scenes. A lot of the people that work in the festival scenes were also in the music industry, so they get it. A lot of the times people understand things more, and people are just really supportive, and I think that's really helped out my my journey thus far, is that people that I've met have been really supportive of me. They've wanted to mentor me, they've wanted to help me, and I wouldn't be able to do half the things I've done if it wasn't for some of the people I've met that have put me in the places to do some of the things I've done. So it's been a blessing, man. Truly, it's all about who you know and who knows you, and it's been I've been really fortunate to like really experience some really great things these last couple months.
One last thing about, and unless anyone else obviously has any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
How'd you when did you end up calling yourself Sneako? Like, at what point did like this persona become a thing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, it's almost like, so Snapchat just started letting people change their names again.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that's like, I feel like once you get to a certain point in your career, you're like, okay, I'm Sneako. Like, this thing is stuck. Like, and we see artists sometimes change their names later on or before they get to that point, right? So I guess, like, how did Sneako come around? And, do you think it's stuck with you? Are you forever at this point, or?
Yeah. So great. I mean, it's a great question, and it's super cool, because in 2018 and 2019, when I performed at Breakaway and I was doing a lot of cool stuff in Grand Rapids, I opened for Pauly D in Grand Rapids and stuff. When I was doing all that, I was actually going under the name Energy, NRG.
I remember that. And I do remember that.
And I was doing that because my initials are NRG. My full name is Nicholas Rodrigo Gonzalez. So I used to just go by NRG because I was like, oh, that's sick. And so I went by that, and, like, I had been going by Energy since I was like, I remember, like, if you ask Brendan Benton, when we were like 10 and 11 growing up, we had a trampoline in my backyard, and we would fake WWE wrestle all the time. We'd battle our brothers and stuff like that. And my name at the time was NRG. So I had it all the way back to when I was like 10, and that ended up being my DJ name. And then I moved away. I left Grand Rapids, and I moved to Salt Lake City. And, I got really, I'll say, I got really lonely out here because I didn't really have any friends. I have my girlfriend and just some other friends that I had met prior to moving here. And I was honing in on my craft. I was grinding on the podcast. I was grinding on the music mixes. I was doing all that. And I just felt like it was time to like change the name. And I'd always been called Sneaks in high school because I was a forward in soccer, and I was smaller than a lot of the center backs. So I would be like behind them, and they'd call me Sneaks. And then my Snapchat name back in middle school when I made it was Nico Sneako. And I was like, man, okay, what if I just did Sneako? And it ended up working out because I've had the name, I've had some logos and stuff for that. just kind of bottled away in the archives, and it's kind of just worked out, and people really enjoy it. It's been a cool like name, and I get to debut it now at Breakaway at a festival for the first time, so I'm super stoked about that. And yeah, changing energy to Sneako was very much kind of like a way to like cut off my old life in a way and start off like this new life in Salt Lake by myself, meeting all these new people, on this whole new journey that I'm on. And yeah, it's a great question.
So like, is there like during like throughout the course of the year, are there like times where like you're getting more gigs just based off of like the season? Like how does that all work?
Yeah, great question. So my busy season is January to like late October, November-ish time. Basically, like once Thanksgiving hits, everything's done. So from like Thanksgiving to about like the second weekend of January, I'm zero. Not doing anything there. Maybe getting some local, like holiday parties and stuff in the city, trying to really just do local stuff at that time. But by that time, I'd been traveling for almost 10 months, and I'd hoped to have some money saved up. So I really used that time to just hang out at home, really, hang out with my girlfriend more because, she sacrifices a lot of our time, together on the weekends because I'm gone a lot of the weekends. So, that stretch from like Thanksgiving to early January is very much kind of like my time to really just chill out and get ready for the next season. Busiest season is like right now, like April, May, June is like nuts. It's just absolutely nuts. So I'm gone the next 6 weekends. I'm in Albuquerque this weekend. Next weekend I'm in Santa Barbara. Then I'm in Minneapolis. Then I'm back in LA. Then I'm in Chicago. It's just been a lot of traveling.
Nice. It's good you're in Salt Lake City at least right now. Then you get to stay like central to all the things.
Exactly.
Because those flights across, man, those are killers. Those are killers.
Yeah. Anytime I have an East Coast gig, man, it's like brutal. Like a Florida gig just ruins me, dude. Like it's just like a 5.5 hour flight. You land, you perform, you have to be back in a plane by, the next morning. You're back across to Salt Lake. The elevation messes you up completely. It's a lot, and it's really important to like, take my vitamins, and I go on walks and stuff when I'm at home. I really try to be as active as I can because, the life on the road is tiring. You eat like shit all the time. You're constantly tired. You're constantly staying up. You constantly want to go out with people, because you don't want to miss the night out with the DJs and stuff. So it's, it's a lot of partying. It's a lot of having a good time, but, just like, and really enjoy my time when I get to just be at home for like 4 or 5 days of doing nothing.
Do you have like a favorite city, where you done a gig at or an event? Like what was, I guess, the energy like in the crowd, like when you were doing that event?
Great question. My favorite cities to go to are, I love doing anything in Arizona. Doesn't matter the city. Arizona is a great place to party. I love doing my biggest gig that I've ever done was Los Angeles in 2019. The Color Run was there. It was at the LA Galaxy Stadium. It was a beautiful day. It was like 80 degrees. It was gorgeous. And, there was big nationwide sponsors like LG were there. We had Betty Who. Do you guys know who Betty Who is? She's an artist. She was kind of like coming up at the time. Now she's got a couple big songs with a couple big artists, but she was performing there. And then there was the Color Run. So like they all warmed them up and stuff with this performance and stuff. And it ended up being like almost, I think it was like 10,000 people were there. And I remember, dude, the energy was so bananas. And we were like giving away like LG Bluetooth speakers like off the stage. And we had like color guns that were like popping color, and I was like jumping off the stage doing some Kodak stuff. It was crazy. and it was that was one of the most memorable ones. I think anywhere where there's a lot of sun and there's a lot of good energy, I really enjoy. And then there's a lot of those small markets that like you really remember that you get booked for, and you're like, oh man, what's gonna go down there? And then you get there, and it's just like one of the most fun times. Like Fayetteville, North Carolina, where J. Cole's from. I got booked for a couple gigs there. And Fayetteville is a very military town. It's a very military town. And I was going there, and the gig, on my itinerary and stuff, it would say like, expected guests were only like 2,000, and for like a color run, average is like 4,000 to 5,000. And I was like, oh, so it's a smaller gig, whatever. It's gonna be easy, whatever. I'm not stressed about it. And we get there, and it was raining. It was a terrible, terrible day, and the people, dude, were just so like vibey and so just like ready to have a good time, because a lot of things don't go to Fayetteville, North Carolina. A lot of events don't go there. So the fact that we were there, we were in the rain, we were playing a lot of J. Cole. It was right at the stadium that he did the Dreamville concerts at, and it was super cool. We drove by 2014 Forest Hills Drive, took pictures there. It was an amazing, amazing town. So like Fayetteville, North Carolina, like I absolutely love going there. If you ever get a chance to go to Fayetteville, do it. The people are just so cool. And to answer a question kind of off that question, like some of the worst cities I've been to, I love going there, but there's more pressure in some cities, like for example Boston. So East Coast people, Boston, New Yorkers, they're very blunt, they're very honest. They'll tell you if they're not having a good time, because that's just in their nature, that's who they are. So we were in Boston doing a color run. It was Mother's Day. And the color run, has to like block off streets. If there's police involved, there's a lot of moving parts that go into it. But for the average runner, they're just like, hey, let's start this race. So the race starts at 9. I'm up on this scaffolding unit, on the mic. Are we ready? We're going to have a good time, blah, blah. So doing all that. And then, on my radio, I get, hey, we're delayed like 3 more minutes. The police are just blocking off roads and stuff. So I go on the mic and I'm like, hey guys, like we're about to start. We're gonna keep the energy going. I got more free prizes to give out, but we're just gonna be delayed for the next few minutes so the police can, keep everybody safe. There was this mom, I'll never forget her. She was sitting right in the front area, and she was like, "Start the damn race. No one fucking cares." And I was like, I was like, oh my God. And she was like, "You're ruining my Mother's Day. You understand? You're ruining my Mother's Day. Start the race." And I was like, oh man. So like that part of the DJing life, man, like dealing with those type of people is the roughest part. But Boston's
Always
awesome.
a mom.
Always the moms, bro.
How'd you
Always.
I saw on one of your podcasts that you were in Kansas City. How'd you like Kansas City?
Oh, love Kansas City, dude.
What did you do?
We went to I don't know what that main street is where like all those restaurants are, and there's like an outdoor like concert area,
Like pavilion?
Yeah.
Like Kansas City Live?
Kansas City Live, exactly.
Yeah, that shit slaps.
Slaps, dude. We went to this little barbecue place right when you walked in there. Kansas City barbecue is undefeated, I think.
It's honestly my favorite now. I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. Like Texas and stuff is great, but man, KC's just, I don't know what
I think
it is.
that's Joe's barbecue that you had. That's probably my like favorite sauce.
Yeah,
definitely.
KC was
Dude,
fun.
You would have loved to like MC there, like DJ there for like Chiefs games. Like that shit.
So
popping.
The color run does the color run right in front of Arrowhead, so it's super cool. We get to do all that in the parking lot of Arrowhead, and we get to drive around the stadium. I get a lot of perks. Like in New York City this year, the color run is at Citi Field, so all the participants and stuff get to run through Citi Field. So I get to DJ in that area, which is super cool. So, like what the perks of it is getting to see a lot of these stadiums. In Boston, it was at Gillette Stadium, which is like always a dream of mine to go to, just growing up loving Tom Brady. And yeah, man, it's been a pretty cool thing just being able to, see some of the things that, I didn't think I'd ever get to see, but some of these places, get booked, and I'm lucky enough to be the one to go.
Do you have so we've been talking music. Do you have a Mount Rushmore? Not like of what you like to play, listen to. Like you can bring 4 with you.
Any genre?
Any genre.
Okay. So any genre, I'm gonna take Drake 1. I'm gonna take 21 Pilots 2. I'm gonna take John Bellion 3, and then my fourth, I'd probably take Rufus Du Sol as my 4th.
It's a nice diverse Mount Rushmore there.
Yeah, that's kind of like my rotation.
Just got one genre there.
Yeah,
I'm
a big 21 Pilots fan. Big 21 Pilots. I got like tattoos for them. And then John Bellion, same thing. He's like a prominent, songwriter, but he's got a lot of his own music as well. But yeah, music. My music ear, I try to keep it as diverse as I can. I don't like listening to the same things ever. I'm constantly looking for new artists. I'm constantly looking for, new things to listen to. I've been fortunate enough on my podcast to have homies that make music and stuff that, share their music with me. So I'm always trying to like find new artists and, push
helps
new
you grow
artists.
too.
What was
helps
that?
you grow with it helps you grow with your DJing and grow with your
Absolutely.
mixes and stuff. The more you know, the more you can mix, the more unique you can be. Because, like you said, it is getting more simplified. You need to find a way to separate yourself. So
Exactly.
you can throw a 21 Pilots song with a great drop on it. That's gonna hit.
Exactly, dude. It's all about just trying to catch the crowd off guard in a way. Always like they think they know, but they don't know what's coming. And I think that's my favorite thing about DJing is the reactions to the music. When you see the group of friends, like catching up and like singing because like this was their song back in the day, and like you see the one dude who's just hammered off his ass, but you play that song and he goes crazy, and it's like the reaction is what pays like me internally. The check is always great, but like my reward of seeing people react to the music's my favorite part.
And then those memories get locked into those songs. I remember I think it was like 2 New Years ago. This one DJ, I think we were at Level 2. Or maybe it was like Firebird or something downtown.
Yeah.
And he played a remix of that Khaled song. I don't know, his really popular song.
Yeah.
And like I will never forget like us like vibing to like, what is this mix? Like this mix is crazy. And then like I will always have that memory of that great New Year's with my boys to that song, So
yeah, man.
It's definitely more than just a check. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. If I'm at a party and, I have DJs there and he plays something I've never heard before, I'll be the first one to either Shazam it or I'll be the first one to walk up to the dude and be like, bro, what is this remix? Because, like, I need it. And that's the most important thing in what I do. And all the DJ friends that I've met, and I've been lucky enough that they're all like this as well, is that they're very open in sharing their music catalogs and stuff. And, I love to crate dig, and that's a term in the DJ world where like you just open a playlist and you just find some of these crazy bootlegs and crazy remixes from, 20 years ago sometimes. And then, you're just constantly downloading music. You're constantly, trying to mash up music. It's a constant grind to find, that song that no one's ever heard of that like bangs,
Right.
Yeah, that's fire. Well, going into my next question is when I asked you about coming on here, I was like, Nico, did you watch the Kanye documentary? He was like, yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm waiting for the third. So we talked about Mount Rushmores. I'm sure a lot of people have Kanye on their Mount Rushmore when it comes to rapping, at least for sure. Maybe obviously not when you include all genres, but I mean, what was your like gut thoughts when you started watching the documentary? What's the name of that? Gene's Hust?
No, it's Genius. Genius is spelled.
Oh, it's Genius. That's how it's just spelled.
Genius.
Okay.
Dude,
Get a load of this guy.
Dude, it was so like powerful to me to watch because the amount of confidence this guy has, right? I mean, you're 25 years before you even are a household name, you have a camera dude following you because you're confident that you're going to be the greatest of all time. I mean, anyone could argue that he is one of the greatest of all time. I mean, Kanye is Kanye. He's not on my Mount Rushmore because I don't listen to him as much as Drake, but would I listen to someone that says that Kanye is better than Drake? Yeah, I believe so because, Kanye's track lists and catalogs and stuff, especially when you saw that Free Larry Hoover concert, when he was doing all those hits after hits after hits after hits, it's hard to argue with his greatness. So when I see that, and then I see this raw footage, of him playing Jesus Walks for the first time, playing All Falls Down for the first time, playing Through the Wire for the first time, all these just classic songs. And it just gives you this appreciation for it, man. It was incredible to see this guy believe in himself so much, to just have this dude following him with the camera, 30 years of footage taken, or however many years of footage taken, and now it's sold for $30 million to Netflix, and and we're all lucky enough to see it. I mean, dude, it was just incredible how much confidence he had. Like, he knew that he was gonna be the best, and it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, I'll let Dabs. I know you're gonna want to say something, but phenomenal foresight by Cootie. Like, to ask him to, and I'm just like so excited for the future because how many other artists like have something in the bank, or like everyone's like, I can't imagine like LeBron's documentary and like all these documentaries that are going to come out with the technology age, and there's so much access to us. Like without like Cootie's foresight, we might have never seen this, because I mean he was on cassette tapes and shit like that. But especially with like the future and everything like that, it'll be really exciting to like have a look into like whether you look up to the people or you've just followed them for a long time, into like what made them so successful. So Dabs, I'll let you go ahead and go on your rant, because I'm sure you got a lot to say.
Yeah, so I watched the Kanye documentary after a couple of friends was like, you gotta watch this. And it's just like, first of all, I want to say Cootie didn't just like record it. Like he put the whole documentary together, and all the visuals in it and everything about it was perfect. Like perfect. It got it. Like I was a big Kanye fan before the Drake beef. And then when the Drake beef happened, I was like, I'm on Drake's side, and I like Drake too. And I really love Drake. So fuck you, Kanye type thing. and then he cool now. So I'm like back to listening to Kanye. I'm like, fuck yeah, back to Kanye, and then the doc dropped, so I was like, okay, sweet. But no, Cootie, big props to Cootie. He deserved all that money. Second thing is Kanye, I was really like wondering his relationship with Jay-Z and stuff, which is crazy. Like everybody just pushed Kanye to the side, and it was for a very long time, even when he was making music.
That was wild to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to interrupt you, but it was so crazy how like much he had been doing for Rockefeller and all these artists and Jay-Z, and how he kept just getting pushed to the bottom for like all these other like just New York artists and stuff. Yeah, that was crazy to me.
And then it's like people in the documentary he was doing stuff for that was so much bigger for him at that moment. Like, and then it just clicked to where he just became the biggest thing ever. Even Ludacris, like he became bigger than Ludacris. He became bigger than all these people he was begging to just give him a chance. Which you said what?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
He said did Kanye do Fast Five?
Point one. And then point one Ludacris.
Yeah, the genius behind what he was doing too. Like, I don't know how he was truly gifted. Like, truly gifted. His mom knew he was gifted. I think a lot of the shit that went down with Kanye mentally was after his mom passing, which you can see in the doc. You can see Cootie like cutting the tape off, like when he was ranting and stuff like that, which is really sad. Like that was like really sad for me to watch. But yeah, it like relived my faith in Kanye. Kind of the stuff he was saying now it kind of makes a little bit more sense, but yeah, from a outside perspective looking in, that documentary was fire.
I agree 100%, dude. It was just I mean, I think a lot of people are intimidated by Kanye because, you know, he says something, he's very blunt with what he says. You know, when he says I'm the greatest of all time, like he means that 100%. You ask him, you know, you watch any interview and stuff, the way he proclaims himself and talks about himself, like refers to himself as a god and stuff, because that's what he believes. And I think a lot of people get intimidated by confidence in today's day and age. I think you can be confident and people think you're cocky. And I think that's a big, you know, difference. I think there are people that are, you know, cocky, but I think it's okay to be confident. I think it is okay to talk your shit and, you know, be very you know, if you're, you know, this is you, this is me, this is who I am, and this is what you're getting. And I think ultimately that's what made Kanye West who Kanye West is, because he never, ever, ever stopped being himself. He's still himself to this day, even with all the skeet allegations and all this stuff. He's still the same dude. He's still the same dude. So it's like he's unequivocally raw and organic. He's the most, you know, himself artist out there. He's never faltered, never changed. He's done his way his entire career, and you know, you gotta applaud that, because a lot of people, you know, they see that and they're turned off by it.
Right. Even all of his ideas that he came up with. Like when I seen Yeezys the first time, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like these Adidas? Like I was like, this is weird as shit. Now I fucking got 5 pair. I want the fucking ones that's like flip flops. Like everybody, like it seems like that was his whole narrative from the beginning, is like somebody saying you can't fucking do this, and then you doing it. You can't do this.
You gotta get these. You gotta get.
I gotta get them bitches. Like I have
gotta
to.
Get
like,
these.
That's like my next step.
Bro, they're clouds. They're clouds.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like he a fashion icon now, billionaire. They said he couldn't do that. Like it's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
and
dude.
When you a genius, like that shit, probably. I don't know what's going on in Kanye's head, and like obviously I hope he get the help he need and stuff like that. And I seen he was doing it, so that's good. But like that shit is true. Like what he's saying about being a genius, like He's just in a different way. It's a different artistic way of being a genius, and I truly believe he is one. So,
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I remember. So when I was younger, like I liked Drake, but all right. I mean, we're from Detroit, so I probably had a phase where like Eminem was my favorite rapper, I'm sure, and that didn't carry on like super long. But like in like elementary school and stuff like
Hell
that,
no.
D12. I probably had a phase where like Eminem, because Eminem was in his bag. Like I'm not about to get it twisted, but then
Yeah.
like I think I shifted to like Kanye was my favorite rapper. Then like when I got into like late middle school, early high school, it was like I was like a Drake stan and whatever. But I still always loved Kanye. He was always in my like personal top 3. And then like we got like MAGA Kanye, and I like I personally really struggle to like disassociate people from like how they carry themselves and like the art they create. I think I talked about this in the past. Like I struggle to like watch Chris Pratt movies now without calling him like a dickhead, because like a bunch of stuff came out about him being like a bad person, and I was like that with Kanye.
I just want y'all to know, Dre still listen to R. Kelly.
I really don't, but
Come on now.
I really don't.
I don't.
I do ask them. I was like, it's so hard to like not, but I don't really.
Yeah,
but
no.
it's hard to like disassociate like those things from those people, and like kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say I was gaslit into thinking that Kanye was like a better person, because I don't think he's a bad person. I do think I didn't realize how bad his mental health was. I think I kind of thought I saw the media stuff and I was like, oh, they just like are using mental health as like an excuse for his actions. But like after his mom passed, it was almost like he had like power limiters on, and his mom passed and the shackles broke, and his like power level like went through the roof.
Like Rock
and
Lee, bro.
Yeah, and he couldn't handle it. Like he couldn't handle it, and that's like almost what it seemed like, because you could always see like that super cocky side or confident, whatever you want to call it, in his youth. But then like after his like mom died and stuff, it just like it almost just seemed like his body couldn't like handle his personality. Like it was like it was crazy.
His mom held him down for sure. Like she kept him ground level. That's what it felt like. Like his mom kept him ground level, and then like right after that, you could see the switch. Like Cootie even said it. Like, I never met Yeezus before. Like I met Kanye, but I never met Yeezus. Then he cut the videos off when he was ranting. Like that shit is like something that Kanye just need to understand. And like that's a mental health thing. But yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crazy just seeing his, being able to see him at his, coming up years, then the car accident, and it's like, man, he almost died. And then his brain
Probably got
stuff.
CTE.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, they're going to do a scan on that dude's brain in the future. No doubt. Because,
for sure.
The stuff that he went through, the car crash, his mom dying during a routine surgery, like that stuff just absolutely, destroys people. And like, the crappy part about him is that it's in a public eye. We see his demise in public because it's constantly being recorded and constantly being posted. So, I mean, the poor man, I've felt vulnerable at times. I've been really upset at times. I would hate if someone stuck a camera in my face at that time and was asking me stupid questions too. So it's like, I can't even imagine what he's felt, not defending him in any way. He has said some things, some crazy things. If you've never listened to the Rogan Kanye podcast, man, it's a trip. You got to go listen to it. He said he wants to manufacture bees to like go around and like watch people. And like the dude is all over the place. But again, he's just Kanye West. That's who he is every time.
What do you think that, because it's so weird, because there's so many artists that inspired other people. I'm not saying that Kanye didn't inspire, but so many artists inspire artists that sound like them, and I don't feel like that happened to Kanye, because his sound has changed so much over time, and that he was like kind of ahead of times for a lot of his career. I mean, like he kind of like ended the gangster rap era, and obviously pink polos and backpacks, and then he had Yeezus, and then like the Life of Pablo. Like he was always evolving. Whereas like, don't get me wrong, Drake's my favorite artist, but like he has a formula and he sticks to that formula, and he has created a lot of Drakes, like Bryson Tillers of the world and those types of people.
Yeah.
And you can say the same about others. It's just so weird. Like I don't know if there will be another one like him, but I'm curious, like if like Kanye died today, and obviously I don't want that, like what is his legacy? Like, I mean, we're in this like ski era, which, and obviously he had his like Taylor Swift era, and then we have like his just musical genius era. We have the fashion Kanye. Like, I don't, what is his legacy if he like passed away?
I think you just look at his catalog, you look at his discography, and you look at each album, and you can just tell how different each one is. Maybe don't listen to Jesus is King, but like every other one of them, like, you know, you listen to him and you're like, you can remember that Kanye era. You know, you can remember, you know, when he was going through his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy days. And it's like, you remember listening to Graduation for the first time. You just remember, I think he just kind of has stretched his catalog over such a long time, and it's been such different parts of, you know, so many different people's lives. I think his legacy will just be like, I mean, he touched more people than, you know, than anybody. You know, he's going to have music that's going to be played at, you know, middle schools all the way to, you know, retirement homes. It's just such a diverse catalog, I feel like.
Yeah, he like most artists that come out in that type of genre anyway. It's kind of like what I was saying about hip hop now. Like, I kind of like throw away everything. Like, I literally listen to something, throw it away. Like, whatever it is, I throw it away because it's not memorable unless you like. It just all sound the same. Kanye, on the other hand, like, he said it in like an interview, like, I know I can just make another Graduation, but, you know, I gave you Yeezus. Yeezus was before its time. I'm gonna just say, like, the sound, everything was before its time. People didn't like it because it was before its time, but if I listened to it 4 years after that, I'm like, dude, Yeezus was fucking fire. Like, that's just like, Kanye is like before his time with certain stuff. Sometimes it seemed crazy. Sometimes he's like right on point. But yeah, Kanye for sure is an original artist. It's few of them out there, but he's an original artist. That 2016, what was that? Life of Pablo. I listened to that after the documentary in my car. Like, dog, this shit is beautiful. I was like, this is ungodly. I was like, this gonna stand the length of time. Like, this music's gonna last forever. When Kanye die, we gonna still listen to this because like it's quality music. So that's what I appreciate about Kanye. I don't like everything about Kanye either. Like, a lot of stuff he say some bullshit, but his musical genius is pretty on point.
I was just gonna add, you know, I think a lot of artists nowadays, you know, it's one certain sound. I'll be the first to tell you, you know, I'm a DJ. I try to keep up with as much music as I can. If it's a poppin' song on the top 40s, you know, I'm downloading it. But hip hop nowadays, dude, has become almost unbearable for me to listen to. I'll be the first to tell you, I've never sat down and listened to like NBA. I've never listened to like a full Kodak album. I've listened to a Thug album. I listened to a Gunna album a couple times. I know a few Gunna hits. I like Lil Baby. But like after that, dude, if you tell me to listen to like any of those type of artists, man, like I'm a blank screen. I don't know anything. It all sounds the same to me. I want to get your guys' feelings on that. Sure. Yeah. How do you guys feel?
It's oversaturated with copycats, really.
Yeah. It's just too much.
I just can't keep up.
Yeah.
It's a new rapper like every month too, and they sound exactly the same.
Yep.
It's a catch-22 though, right? Because like with the streaming era, essentially we can support an infinite amount of artists as much as we can listen to. As long as the population of the world can listen to music, the amount of artists that can, you know, be supported by it is almost infinite. Like, obviously not literally, but figuratively. Like, and obviously there's like very niche artists that, you know, maybe they make $100K a year and that's what they live on. They have a good living, but you know, they have 10,000 fans and that's it, or, you know, whatever fandom would reach that like level of livelihood. So yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, obviously, for like the mainstream type that's getting a little more flooded. But I have been like gravitating to more like, I guess, alternative artists. Or like, I'm a big R&B head, so like there's been so many good like R&B artists coming out lately. Have you ever listened to like Toby Lou, Nico?
No.
Or Toby Lou, like I like Kyle, like I like those Kyle's like more poppy rappers than, I guess, like, I don't know, street rap. I don't want to like get into that nastiness of like these new age mumble rappers, like, because they still like they can still rap, but that's just not my forte. So
I think music nowadays lacks substance. There's no substance to it. There's no meaning. There's no story. That's why I gravitate to a lot of artists like John Bellion and, you know, 21 Pilots and AJR, another band that I like, you know, because they just, you know, they sing or rap or, you know, whatever about real things. And, you know, they're singing and there's a message behind it. If you listen to a lot of those other artists that I mentioned previous, it's all the same shit. It's all, I got this, I got that, I do this, I do that, I go here, I go there, I go everywhere, and it's like, we get it. It's like we get it.
Like
You
Dr.
fuck
Seuss,
bitches.
boy.
Yeah, we get it. You have money, you go out, you party, you do that, whatever. But like me, it's like there's no substance anymore with live. And then TikTok is the thing to blame, because now, you can make a song on TikTok. Like this one girl just made a remix with Russ, and now she's on the top, 100 with Russ. And, anybody nowadays with TikTok, if it goes viral, man, you can go number one. Not saying that wouldn't be great, for this podcast, whatever. Of course, we want to get our moment. But I think for me, and my vision and my way to look at things, and it's so niche to say, but that's a cliche to say, but that's the way it is. It's the marathon, not a sprint mentality. And I would rather put out I'd hear subpar music at the beginning, and then I see you grow and you become this artist that has a meaning and substance, rather than someone that gets big off a sound on TikTok, goes viral, and now you have one hit wonder. They remember you for 1 year and then you're gone. That's what today's day and ages now is, so much instant gratification and instant validation, where it's like, hey, I put this sound out, it better be on top 100 by next week or it's a failure. And it's like, you look at some of these artists, like Lizzo. Take Lizzo, for example. She released Truth Hurts, I want to say in like 2015, and the song didn't pop off until 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the song got big 3 years later. And it's like, I would rather do that, where it's like, I know I put out a smash, but maybe not a lot of people know about me yet. But then by the time they discover me, I have, all these songs in my catalog already, plus the new shit as well. And it's like, I would rather have that. And I think today's day and age is just so lackluster with this, like, instant validation of going viral. And I think that's what people only focus on sometimes. And it's like, you gotta build, it takes a long time to build Rome. So it's that constant struggle to not put out something that's already been put out before. In today's day and age, like, we keep using the word oversaturated, but trying to find your own sound, your own niche is important.
Yeah. And I think just the, accessibility that everybody has to just like listening to these artists, and the pressure that these artists have to, let's say they put out a good project, and then like later that year they're putting out another project, and it just sounds like part 2 of what you just put out because of the ongoing pressure.
The deluxe version.
The deluxe version. The deluxe version.
And we're a lot to blame for that too, right?
Because
we need more.
Right. We were just talking the other day about like Drake just dropped a year ago, and we're already like, bro, where's my next one, Drake?
Yeah.
Like, where's
we are the listener. We are a part to blame because we hear something so good, and then we want it with the next thing like that fast. Like, I think our attention span is just so quick nowadays, where just like albums are like 20 tracks, 42 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like you can basically take like 10 of those songs out and keep the other 10 and just or combine them together, and they would still sound the same. So I just feel like as a listener, like, it's kind of on us too, because our attention span is just so short to where we probably don't appreciate the substance that maybe some of these artists are putting out in their music, and we want more of that. I think it is a little bit on us, but I mean, like, it's probably a little tough for the artists to stay relevant, or to just ride that wave of the success that they had from.
Tell you saying that, you know who that reminded me of? I was listening to the other day, Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill really came out with one album, and that bitch will last like forever. All the time. Forever. Like, I don't know how, but like that whole album will last forever. And yeah, I get it. Artists do drop every year, and it's like the same shit every time.
And I mean, you have to. I mean, in that time too, like, you had to come with your best that first time, because like that might have been your only chance. Like, you can't throw together all this. I mean, it's like Kanye, when he finally got his first chance, obviously his first album, it was just full of like such quality music. But I mean, even like with social media, like Ice Cube, it took him forever to drop No Vaseline after like Eazy-E and them dissed him. Like, it took them a while. But if someone dissed you now, like, we have all these like rap beats, you gotta drop
to the studio.
Or you lost.
If you haven't dropped within the next couple days, like, you're cooked.
Yeah. You lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just think about like how long it took albums to come out back in the day. You had Dre, he released The Chronic, and then he didn't release anything until 2001. And it's like it took that long to make quality albums. And now it's like even like I love Chris Brown. I'll be the first one to tell you I love Chris Brown's music. But he released a 52 long song album.
I'm not listening to a 50 track Chris Brown.
I love me a nice little 10, 13 album. That's the sweet spot.
It'd be like, I see an hour, 20 minutes. Yeah, nah, I can't.
Well, you look at Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I think the way that they do it now is like I seen a video of like Lil Uzi Vert, like they make he was like, I got 1,500 songs, 1,500 just in a box. Yeah. And like, he probably take it out, maybe update it to some more lyrics that's like more updatable, and then just push it out 20 songs. Like that's probably what they do all day. They just record 1,500 songs and then
it's the same beat, dude. They just play the same beat all day, and then they add different effects to it, and they just cut the songs at certain times. They're like, okay, that's a song, that's a song, that's a song.
Like Gunna, he just dropped his album. He talking about he dropping part 2 in the summer. I'm like, hey, look, man, like we don't like appreciate it, but we don't need we don't need a part 2. Like,
let me just listen to this one for a while.
Let me just listen to this one. Like, we good. We're good over here.
Yeah, and well, you look at Kanye, like back to Kanye. You look at Ye. The album Ye was 7 songs. You look like Kids See Ghosts. It was 8 songs. And you look at those projects, and you're like, wow, they're so good because they're so short. They're only 28 minutes long. So by the time you're done listening, you're like, I could run this back, and I'm not even halfway to where I'm going. So it's like I like the shorter substance. I hate interludes sometimes. Interludes are so boring sometimes. Like, take it out.
Hell no, bro.
You like interludes?
Bro, when Drake dropped
Don't talk about Drake interludes, because Drake
interludes
don't count. Drake interludes don't count.
Drake interludes like
Lonely on a Wednesday night.
Wednesday night interlude.
Yeah, don't
exclude
mix
Drake
with the interludes, bro.
Exclude Drake from that conversation. But like, dude, you see some of these other artists, they drop, a 30-song album, and then there's like 7 interludes, and you're like,
it's like,
how long was T-Lop?
That was a pretty long. That was probably one of his longer.
It was like 20
that
songs.
Bitch still hit, man.
Yeah,
that's my favorite album, I think.
Because he added Saint Pablo too.
And then now too with like his older albums, he added like additional like if you look at that one, College Dropout. Maybe I'm getting my albums wrong, but there's like 4 versions of Jesus Walks on like that album where I don't think it released like that. But it is funny you guys say that say how much time it took to make albums, because I was watching that Kanye documentary, and you see how long he's like working on pulling this first album together. I was like, dude, when the fuck is this thing gonna be done? Like when I'm watching it, like as he's doing it, and I'm granted, like, I mean, all like the travel and like the time that it takes to pull this together and have all these other people listen to it and refine it, and like that's the process it should be, but we've been so spoiled. I'm like, dude, when the hell is he gonna finish this album? And partially I was like I want to get into like Graduation and see like those ones, and unfortunately like we missed like a solid period because him and Cootie fell out. But I was like even singing that when I'm watching, I'm like, dude, this is taking forever. And you got to see like all these other artists like grow throughout. I'm like, he was like in his early 20s, and you're sitting here with Mos Def, and you can't get anywhere. You're making beats for Mos Def, and then now like you got Ludacris in the studio, and I never realized like the timeline where like Kanye fit in, how late it was relative to some of the like Ludacris was really already established, and I never thought about that. Like it makes sense, but I'm like, it's wild.
Oh yeah, dude. It's wild. I mean, it's so crazy how much of a hand he had in so many of those artists' careers, and a lot of people wouldn't even know that unless they watched that documentary, and it's like being able to just spread your knowledge and your skills to so many talented artists behind the scenes, and then finally get in front of the camera, get in front of the microphone, and have all that success too, man. It's like he did it in both sides, and not a lot of producers would ever be able to rap. They try, but it's not the same as what Kanye West did, man. And it's like, again, back to your legacy question. It's like best producer rapper ever. Like that's why he got mad when someone said, "Don't call me a producer rapper," because they're all bums in this lane. But like he is the greatest producer rapper of all time, and then he's the greatest rapper potentially of all time too. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of, I mean, now producing so accessible, right? So I think a lot of people that rapping is their main thing, or they've become popular as rappers, call themselves producers. Like, I mean, I guess Travis Scott did start as a producer, right? But I mean, a lot of these guys, like, they rap and then like they can produce too because it's accessible. Like anyone can produce now. I mean, I can get on my computer right now. I don't know anything about it,
You can get on GarageBand and make a beat.
I'm not saying that it's easy to be one of the best at it, but
it's true. It's
yeah.
true, dude. There's a DJ Deadmau, and he's
I know Deadmau.
yeah, he's got the one with the mouse helmet on before Marshmello started doing it, and he had this master class that he led, and I watched it because I think he's so interesting, and he had this big setup, giant like equipment, decks, production software, all this stuff, and he was using none of it. He was just on his laptop making a song. And he was just saying, he's like, kids nowadays, can go in the basement, take an Adderall, drink a Red Bull, and boom, they have, a summer hit. Because he's like, that's how easy it is nowadays. He's like, I can make an entire album in, a 4-hour session if I really wanted to, because that's just how easy it is. Because now you can just copy and paste layers and move layers up and down, where back in the day you had to individually record each layer and try it out in different, areas. So now he's just like, half of this equipment I don't even have to use anymore, because it's like I just have everything on my MacBook. I use Ableton. I use FL Studio. I export the audio. I upload it to Spotify all between clicks. And it's like, that's how easy it is nowadays.
Oh yeah, it's like, I mean, it is a good point how like technology's enabled albums to be produced so much quicker, like all the time, to like do re-records and layers. And even when they made the Through the Wire video, like the visual effects in the Through the Wire video took them forever. Someone on YouTube could pull that together in a day. They could pull that Through the Wire video together in a day.
With your iPhone, dude. The new iPhone has cinematic mode. You take a video, it looks like an Oscar movie, bro. It's insane what you can do in today's world.
So we've talked about, music festivals. We talked about all these great artists. Last week's episode, we did a little bit of a kind of like draft thing in celebration of Women's History Month. We pulled together some of our favorite, chick flicks and actresses. So I figured, why not do something similar this week? And this week we talked about festivals, and also in celebration of women's history, we're gonna pull together the greatest festival of female artists. So we're gonna have to get into our bag a little bit. Each of us are gonna essentially be running a stage. So when you go to your festivals, you have all these stages and everything. We're gonna pull together. We each are in charge of a stage, and we're gonna pick one by one, who we want. The only caveat I have though is that these are current artists in their current condition. So if the artist is dead, obviously they don't count.
Ooh,
you cannot bring them onto your stage.
Wow.
And let's say you're talking about an artist like Lady Gaga or something. You're not taking Lady Gaga when she dropped Just Dance. You're getting Lady Gaga now for what she is.
Okay.
But she can
They have to perform how they are now,
How many-
or
how many
the last
names?
song they dropped.
How many names do you need?
Or they can play their hits, right?
They can play their hits. But they're performing it underneath their current, physical condition.
That's fine.
Ready.
All my ladies still got it.
So
one more question.
Go ahead.
Does the set have to be like
It doesn't have to be the
conducive
same
each other?
genre.
It doesn't have to like be a nice flow.
No,
You're in
because
charge of the stage.
just like when you do this like stages at music concert or not concerts, festivals, they switch stage to stage, right?
Okay,
And so
cool.
everyone's
They
gonna
don't-
flow over to another stage.
It's
in
not
between.
a set list. It's just we gotta
Yeah.
get okay. Let's get it.
I got it.
Because all mine's still bad. Wait,
All right.
never mind.
So Nico, since you're the guest, I'll let you pick where you want to pick 1 through 5. You can pick. We're going to do it snake style. So if you pick first, you'll pick last in the second round. If you pick last in the first round, you get the turn. So you want 1 through 5. Where you want to pick, and I'll randomize the rest of us.
I like this. This is good. I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna take the 3rd overall pick, please.
Okay, 3rd pick.
Yeah,
Right in the middle.
right in the middle.
All right, the rest of us will do it derby style, randomize it, and then you get to pick out of the remaining 4 spots.
So if someone picks a name, I can't take that name, right?
You
a
can't
draft,
take that
no.
name.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Dre, get the copyright to the draft song, the TNT or the NBA draft song. Dun, 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 dun. I can't even do that shit.
Dude,
We'll get
copyrights.
flagged.
Copyright's the most annoying part about the podcast world. That's it. It's the most annoying.
You know that the NCAA has copyrighted the word final, or you might have to bleep this, Andre, but Final Four. Bleep. You can't say Final Four.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta say like at March Madness tournament.
You have to say like semifinal. Like if you're talking about like even if we were doing like a tournament, you'd have to say like semifinal. You can't say Final Four.
That's gross.
Oh wow. So I randomized the list.
Dre,
I randomized
yes.
the list. If you don't believe me, it probably won't focus, but you can see Andre,
Pornhub?
Dante, Toon, Josh. So I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the turn. I'm gonna take the last spot. I'm gonna take the 5th overall pick.
Okay.
Dante, you can have 1, 2, or 4.
I think he's gone.
2.
Just
2. Okay.
He took 2.
Yep.
It's me.
Yep. 1 or 4.
Give me 1. Obviously.
Dabs.
I wanted 4. Let's get
Yeah,
4
you got
anyway.
4 anyway. You got. All right, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen.
This is nice. I like this. Feels like I'm about to
Okay.
play Kahoot. I like this.
Toon, you're up, man.
All right. Easy selection.
pick
Ooh,
5?
I think
He said easy selection. Ooh.
I'm looking at my list right here. One person on my list is already dead, or a part of them is already dead, so I can't go with them. Let's go with Beyonce.
If it's a group and there's a what do you like?
Don't worry, one of them's
Okay.
dead.
All right.
It's a group.
Yeah, Beyonce. That's obviously a shoe-in pick.
I mean that's.
I said
yeah.
Beyonce.
That's LeBron first overall.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Tay.
Yeah, I agree.
We have been waiting for this person to release an album for close to a decade now. She is now pregnant. I'm gonna go with Bad Girl Riri.
Oh,
That was on my list.
that's a good pick.
I'm gonna run out.
I'm be honest though,
fucked.
I'll be the first to tell you I'm taking Rihanna over Beyonce any day of the week. But
In a concert?
I think overall, in general, period.
Spicy.
Yeah.
It's closer than it's closer than it should be, given the way people talk about Beyonce. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
That's
We'll
I'll
let
say that.
Beyonce is
the
a
listeners
performer.
decide. We'll let the listeners
Yeah,
decide.
well, listen, Rihanna or Beyonce, let us know, please. My pick, I gotta take the queen of Adele for sure. Adele.
That's a nice pick.
I knew that.
Hey, I
was
knew
gonna
that was
Adele, bro.
I gotta reach
Good
up
pick,
pick,
Nico.
man.
Yes, sir.
You ain't had a backup pick ready.
I ain't had a
I
backup.
got a whole list.
I got a
bro.
whole list,
Right.
bro. I'm ready.
Fuck
Come
it.
on, Dabs.
Tunde gonna be sick at my pick. I know it.
I already know who you're taking.
Give me Taylor Swift.
That's a solid
Do you
pick.
like Taylor Swift or are you placating?
No, I'm placating like a motherfucker.
You placating to stay in.
I just gotta give it up.
Stay in it. Hey, you better have that. You better have that second pick next.
I got it.
Yeah, be ready because I know. Yeah. So my first one, this is really a personal pick, but I think there's a certain crowd where this Mary J. Blige, Queen of R&B, I should say. I love me some Mary J. It's my favorite. And Tune, I gotta do it
All
to
the
him.
aunties in the house, stand up. All the aunties.
That
I gotta
doesn't
do
count.
it
She's in a
to-
band.
That's a good pick.
It does count.
That's a good pick.
She's in Paramore, which is a
When she
man
tours-
and woman's band.
When
They
when
weren't-
Haley Williams
Yeah,
tours,
what-
she performs Paramore songs.
She also did have the song with B.O.B. Airplanes by herself. So like she does the solo stuff, right?
If you've
is
seen
true.
Eddie for tour, she does Paramore songs.
That's
like
crazy.
Okay.
that's like saying CeeLo Green can't perform Crazy because he was in Gnarls Barkley.
All right,
That's
Dabs.
crazy.
I think I'm gonna go with the Lauryn Hill.
She's dead, isn't she?
What?
She's
She not
dead,
dead.
isn't she?
You that crazy?
She not dead.
Okay. I guess so.
I'm easily taking.
What do she be doing though? What do she be doing?
I don't know. She,
Nothing.
Smoking.
no, she
Smoking
does.
weed.
She do
Nothing.
performance still. She do her whole album and shit.
Does she spell her name with a Y? Am I
I
spelling
think
this
so.
wrong?
I think you fucking it
Yeah.
up.
We can edit it out later.
Showing your true colors.
All right. With the sixth overall, or not sixth, the what is that? 13th, seventh overall pick. I'm
That's
taking.
8. That's 8.
8. All right.
Quick math.
I'm a DJ, bro. That's it. I don't do accounting. Sorry.
Right.
I'm gonna take Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
Like my, like Penna can fly. I mean, you know?
Hey, when your love came out,
Dude, when you hear moment, if you listen to "Moment for Life" tonight, bro,
Hey,
you'll be
that
in
is
your
a-
feels, bro.
that's a fire song. That is a fire song.
Bow, 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 show me,
I'm gonna go with was it his ninth pick? With the ninth pick, I'm gonna go with probably for female, probably the top pop artist right now, at least in the rap lane. I'm gonna go with Doja Cat for festival.
All right. She sells out. You know, I get it.
That's not bad.
Doja's fire.
Yeah,
All
and it's
right.
crazy how like she was like everybody thought she was playing at first when she was like rapping about cows and stuff, and then like she could actually rap.
He's also in them 4chan group chats.
She's hilarious on TikTok. I'll give her that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
she's
she is
funny as
funny.
fuck.
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some, I'm gonna get some international flavor here
Ooh.
and go with Shakira.
Damn, that's a good pick, bro. That's a
I'll go with
good
Shakira.
pick,
That is
bro.
a good pick. That is
Let's
a
get
good pick.
the international crowd
I like
involved.
that. I like that.
Going right back to me. Is she still on the board? I think she still got it in her, and I think I can save my other ones till lower. So let's go with Sierra.
This beat is.
Sierra.
I think she still got it in her.
I mean, she lives in Denver now, bro. So she definitely,
Right.
she definitely still got it.
I'm going to go with another popular name here. I'm going to go with Ariana Grande.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I thought she was gonna fall.
I have a list here, and I can't believe I didn't think of that. I don't listen to that much Ariana, but
sir.
she got some. She
She's
got
so
it. She got it.
talented.
She got bops.
Yeah.
Easy pick for me. I think she is the biggest artist in the world right now. I'm seeing her on Monday. Billie fucking Eilish.
Dabs. You let Billy fall?
So I have so before Billy got big, this was still like Ocean Eyes time Billy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We talked
That
about
Black
Mopop.
Bear-
We
we talked
talked
about that.
We talked about Mopop earlier, right?
Mhm.
So this was Mopop, like maybe 2019 or something like that, and maybe it was 2018. No, it might have been 2018. One of those years. And I went because I wanted to see Daniel Caesar. That was like the first chance I got to see Daniel Caesar. I was super hyped, whatever. I had been on, on him for a minute. And, Rex Orange County,
Yep.
Nico? So my
Yeah,
friend,
yeah.
shout out Mariah, she wanted to see Rex Orange County. So like, all right, we'll go to the first day, we'll see Rex Orange County. And Billy was coming on after. And this was before she was popular, before her tickets were the most expensive fucking thing in the world and everything.
yep.
And we get them with Rex, the place clears out, and we're standing there and like we looking at the set list, we're like, Billie Eilish is gonna come on, and we look at each other like, do you want to stay? We're like, no, and we turn around and go.
Damn.
Little did we know that like Billie Eilish would end up being like the probably
She just won a
biggest
Grammy or
artist out
something
right now,
recently.
yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. She's the biggest
And
thing
she's
in the world.
what,
right
like 20?
now. Not
something
even.
like that.
I think she's
How
not
many
even 20
Grammys she
yet.
got? Did she get? She got like 4.
Oh, more, bro. Probably more.
More?
She's
Like in this,
killer right
like
now.
this year, it was like, yeah, she's going crazy.
All right, Dabs.
Give me Meg. Meg Thee
Ooh.
Stallion.
I was
Little
hoping
ratchet.
that made it to me.
Okay.
Your stage is
all right.
about to be crazy. Meg Thee
know,
Stallion right
yeah.
into
Low-key,
Lauren
you
You
Hill.
gonna get Taylor to go crazy too.
Yeah, bro. Taylor about to be shaking that ass.
Taylor better act out. Taylor better show her whole ass.
All right, Dre.
Okay, I know my. I don't know if my last one's gonna make it. All right, so for this pick, I'm gonna go Lady Gaga. I fuck with Lady Gaga, bro.
You just said that she ain't got it in. She
Right
an
now,
actress.
Bro, she would
Bro,
do the
Lady
song.
Gaga.
Yeah.
goes-
She's an
yeah,
actress. Well,
she
she
would
did
do the
just sing in that
song.
movie though.
Yeah,
She did just sing in
I
that movie.
love Lady Gaga.
She's going
bro.
on tour this
If
summer.
she and then even though like this is a feel good concert, if she sings Shallows, I will cry.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. For sure.
I heard that song in the grocery store one day and wanted to leave. Like, it was terrible. And
right,
then
next pick.
my favorite female MC of all time,
Damn,
Missy Elliott.
you son of a bitch.
I love me some
That was
Missy.
gonna be my next pick.
I almost didn't pick her here, but I was like, no way she makes it back.
Yeah, she wouldn't have made it, bro.
Give me Fergie.
Oh,
Fergie?
Without the Black Eyed Peas,
yeah.
Just give me
you can
Fergie.
have her, bro.
Yeah, you can have her, bro. Big girls
I'm
don't
just
cry.
kidding. It's
Hey,
International Women's Month. Let me chill.
Yeah,
Let me
she
chill.
got a few like glamorous fire.
Boys don't cry or girls
Yeah.
don't cry.
Girl, yeah, that song.
Somebody
Big
don't
girls
cry.
don't
Yeah,
cry.
that sounds
Banger.
good.
Hello?
All right, my
That just tore up your team, though. I'm sorry, bro. That took you.
He said she gonna sing the national anthem at the
that shit was a little too much. All right, I got a dark horse right here.
Oh no! Don't take. I think. Oh, she's
She's-
not making it.
She's diverse. She could do the best of both worlds. I'm taking Miley Cyrus, baby.
Ooh, good pick.
Wow.
That's a good pick.
Good
That's
pick.
a good pick. And
That's a
for her
great
being
pick.
in that-
She on
that-
her
that's a
rocker
good
shit
pick.
now. You see, like she's doing like
She's doing like
rock and roll
covers
type
of
shit.
rock songs and shit. Sign me up. I'm all there.
All right. For my next pick, still waiting on an album from her. Her first album was a classic. I'm gonna go with SZA. Control, still
Oh,
playable to this day.
She was on my list.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
All right,
My turn?
Clean it up.
All right, this little something for the baddies out there. Let's get some Cardi B. What she be saying? Yes. I don't know.
Oh, Cardi fell this low.
Let's
I
get
forgot
Cardi
about
on there.
Cardi.
Wow,
Wow, I can't believe she fell this low.
Holy shit, I just found somebody. Oh, God.
I just
I
had
hope she's still
somebody.
there.
I'm on the clock, huh?
Yeah, bro. Come on. 2 minutes.
Let's
Yeah, you got
see.
a time limit, my
Do you want
my
to trade? Do you want to trade?
No, because you took my one. Okay, all right.
Ding, ding.
I think, as we know, she just got free, and I think she getting back fit, and she happy now. Let's get Britney Spears. Britney
That's a
Spears.
good pick.
That's a
such
good
a good
Let's
pick.
go.
That's a-
Wow, Tune. That's such a good
Free
pick.
Britney.
Okay.
That conservatorship got her down the board,
Man.
bro.
Yes, bro. She fell.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Wow. All right. My last pick. All right. I'm going. This is more of a popularity pick, but she like one of the biggest pop artists right now. I'm gonna go with Dua Lipa.
Oh,
That's not bad. I like her music.
That's a good one. I'm levitating.
If you don't wanna see me.
But she is getting sued, out her ass right now. So.
No, she is not. That was a hoax, bro.
I heard it was a hoax. Yeah.
It was a hoax.
It was a hoax. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't put that on her.
Okay, I'm about to say I like the song. I was like, dang, that's crazy.
All right, I got one that I don't know if it's gonna be able to make the list. I don't know if she's doing music right now, but if she is, I want to take J-Lo.
Ugh, she cannot sing.
No, what do you mean? Bro, what?
She all auto tune.
she's
That was a horny pick, bro. Horny pick, Nico. Bonk.
Bro, what? You get J-Lo
She
in
got
a
some-
room
yeah,
anywhere?
if I can get Ja Rule there though, like to back up, bro,
Yeah.
it's a fire set.
Bro,
It's
you
a
put
fire
J-Lo and
set.
Pitbull on a stage together, that place is shutting down. All right, I'm telling you.
Give
All right,
me,
Dabs.
He said, Courtney
give me
pick
Alicia
Nico.
Keys.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Give her, as long as she got her piano up there, bro. She
Yeah,
hauled
she
that
got-
big
she
ass
Have a
piano on that
Of
stage.
course she has the
Yeah,
piano.
she gonna have that piano. She for sure gonna have that piano.
And Dre, close us
All right, Dre
out.
with the last pick.
who's Mrs. Irrelevant?
Yeah, it's Mariah. It's Mariah.
Washed.
Wash. What's she gonna do? Play the
thinking
same
about
Christmas
Mariah,
song
but
for
I
40
just-
minutes?
I don't
Y'all
trip on it.
tripping. Y'all tripping.
I
Mariah.
hate Christmas because of
Now?
Mariah Carey.
Her now.
Yes.
I heard she can't sing now. I heard she can't sing now.
don't sing-
Her vocal cords like ruined.
I hate her.
All I want for Christmas
ruining
ain't
it.
Christmas.
It's a concert. People
You're
hype in
ruining
there.
You know she makes almost $40 million a year off that one song every year.
Yep. She
I'm
don't gotta do
sorry,
nothing
y'all.
But just sing during Christmas.
My team is taking rings, bro. This is a
You got a nice throwback list. That Britney, that I wasn't expecting that Britney, that Britney name.
Like
drop,
you can't
but
talk about Mariah Carey and then talk about like Britney being like
Yeah,
Britney
gonna
fell
fall.
off hard.
Not gonna
Britney
be able
did
to
fall
see
off
either.
hard.
The
Yeah,
legislature.
she. Yeah.
And
Britney did
Shakira,
kinda
like
fall off
Shakira
hard.
has the international appeal, but like I can't name 5 Shakira songs.
Bro, you play
Bro,
Waka
the international
Waka.
fans crazy though.
yeah, I know, but we in the States right now.
Like like Selena Gomez, like her fandom is wild.
Honorable mention.
International.
Honorable mention, Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
I don't have. I've expired my whole list.
Yeah. He's like, I got no one else.
I fucked up with Fergie, but
Yeah, Fergie was a
Yeah,
nasty.
Fergie
pick.
was.
I don't think I
nasty.
was thinking about the same person, but I can't think about who I was thinking about, and I can think about the song. My girl's just playing it, bro. It might
Oh
be
dang!
Fergie.
I mean, I don't think anybody in here listened to her, but like the younger crowd. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo. Nobody said her. She probably the biggest pop star.
I
right
just
now.
know like her like TikTok song really.
Dude,
That's all I know. But
they,
she is mad popular.
She's mad.
That's why I was like,
popular.
it's probably for like the.
They booked her on a
Say what now?
world tour, bro, but like they kind of shot her in the foot. They booked her at like massive stadiums, bro, and her tour right now. They're like at the
Right.
radio gig I'm working and stuff. They're giving tickets away like crazy right now because like she can't sell out big arenas, but her promoter and her agents and stuff are putting her in like Madison
Right.
Square Garden, and it's like, dude, like they're not
Yeah.
ready for that yet, you know. So I mean, she's
Yeah.
talented, but she's just it's too early, you know. Like again,
Yeah, that's
marathon,
probably
not a
for the
sprint.
younger-
Yeah, let them come out with a few more songs. You know, when you put them in like a major festival slot and they have 4 songs, it's like, what's the point? You know, it's like, what's the point of even putting them there? But
Right.
good list, boys. That was fun.
That was fire.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
Nice draft.
that was dope.
Good draft there.
I think I like my list. I like mine.
Yeah, so
It's
let
not,
us
about,
know.
it's not about
who-
it's not about
yeah,
you liking it, bro. It's about is your contract gonna be better than mine?
Rihanna,
Let us know
Rihanna's
which
pretty nice.
stage you want to
For
go
sure,
to.
for sure.
Yeah.
but
I will take
overall-
Rihanna over anybody on your list.
That's crazy.
She pregnant. What you gonna do?
With the belly, y'all know she been showing the belly. You know they gonna go crazy for that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is
Let us
true.
know whose list you like to. I mean, overall, I mean that would be the most amazing festival ever, obviously.
Oh.
But
Oh,
we setting up Fire 2.0, clear.
Yeah.
Firefest.
Come on now.
Ja Rule. Speaking of Ja Rule, he's back.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Oh man,
That was fire.
Yeah, but that was a good list, y'all.
for sure.
Well, Nico, we appreciate having you on, man. It was awesome to
Great
talk.
conversation.
We'll have to obviously have you
Grazie,
back if you are to the listeners that we do have out there. Color for Convos, Nico's podcast. It's always some good conversations there. I've listened to a few episodes myself, really candid and casual conversations. So really enjoyable. Sneako, if he's in your town, go see him. Breakaway, if you're our Michigan audience, Breakaway this summer or Color Run. Check out
What's your
Sneako.
Instagram tag? Because they can find all that at your Instagram.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah, it's a plug. Plug it.
First of all, Brochless boys, seriously, I really appreciate this. Andre, I love that this was a way for us to kind of rekindle, our friendship, that started a crazy almost, 12 years ago at this point. I'm glad, you're doing well, and to meet Tay, Dabs, Toon, I really appreciate you guys for having me on. If I could give any piece of advice to anything, regarding to a podcast is just, keep doing it. I mean, you guys are really entertaining dudes. You're easy to listen to. You're easy to talk to. This episode, we're almost at 2 hours in, it's been super fluid. It's been super nice. And the biggest advice I could give, boys, is just don't stop. Keep going. There's going to be days where you're going to feel like there's nothing to talk about. You're going to feel days where you guys don't even want to talk to each other. You guys have been talking to each other for 10 days in a row and you just want to take a break. The beginning is a grind. These first few episodes are the hardest ones, man. But once you guys get that momentum and get that runner's high, you guys are going to do great things. And I'm super excited, to see where you guys go. Definitely when I'm in town in Michigan, I'd love to all of us get together, get a drink.
Breakaway. I gotta try and make it
Yes,
there.
sir.
But yeah,
I gotta
when
get
you're
to
in
a
town-
silent disco.
Yes, sir. I'll get you guys in there. And yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram. Find me at Colorful Convos. That's more of my personal page, that posts a lot of podcast related stuff and personal stuff. And then @_Sneako for all my DJing life. I'll be in Albuquerque this weekend with the Big Bounce America. And then, yeah, I'll be all over the U.S. These next coming months. But yeah, guys, I've really, really, really enjoyed this. As a podcast host, this is only my first ever guest appearance on a podcast. So
man,
I really
popped this cherry.
You popped my podcast guest
Pop
cherry.
this cherry.
It's always weird being on this side, but I mean, you guys have made it super enjoyable, man, and I really enjoy listening to you guys, and good luck to you guys, man. You guys are killer, and let's change this podcast world together.
For sure, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you, Nico, also known as Sneako, for coming on. It was a great
Sneako.
conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Wicca.
Go check out, Genius, and so you can know what we're talking about. Go leave whose stage you think is the best on our world's greatest festival ever. But we're just gonna get
Women's
into
festival.
No, the world's. You don't gotta preface it with women. It can just be the greatest.
I thought we were doing it for International Women's Day.
We were, but we don't have to caveat it with.
I mean,
it.
Drake.
If Drake ain't there, it ain't the greatest. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So NFL free agency. It's 3/16 right now. So by the time people see this, there's probably going to be some more shit that's done happen. But I mean, there's been a lot of shit that we haven't more than enough to talk to. I don't know. Today, Von Miller just signed with the Bills.
Bro,
6 years. 120.
He is 32 years old.
I will. So I don't want to get too reactionary about. 120 million is a lot of fucking money, and 6 years is a long time. But I don't want to get too reactionary before I see the guarantees, because I think that the 6 years is probably to push out the guarantees. Because if it's 6 years, 50 million guaranteed. It's like, what is that? 12 million a year or something like that, guaranteed money. So really, like, the cap hit isn't that bad. It's whatever years he plays, he's going to cost you 20 million, and then when he's done playing, it'll still cost you like 12. I don't know what it's going to cost, but the Lions did the same thing with DJ Chark. They signed him to a 1 year, $10 million deal, but his cap hit this year is only $4.5 million because they added 2 void years on the back end. So it's like he's getting like $2 million this year in his base salary, $2 million in guarantees, and then he's gonna get the guaranteed cap hits the next 2 years, but they're just void years, so they don't count against the teams. Like he's not under contract still,
so he can go somewhere else and still get paid by the Lions.
He's not getting paid. Like, the Lions give him his $10 million. It just counts against their cap because they paid out the money and they had prorate bonuses. So
one thing
what's the opposite of donkey of the day for us? What did we say it was?
Trying to get like you.
You're trying to get like you. Shout out to Christian Kirk's agent. Him and Miller agent. I don't know the guarantees thing. But shout out to Christian Kirk's agent. I'm trying to get like him. I don't know what they was on, but whatever it is, I need him to negotiate all my financial endeavors. And if I ever get promoted again, I need to talk to him. So,
bro, the league has taught me this free agency that cap space, the cap don't mean anything. It's always moving. They can reconstruct. Like, I don't know how the Saints are in play for Deshaun Watson. They done reconstructed everybody contract to where they got like a couple million in cap space to where they can get Deshaun. I'm like, y'all was just in cap hell like last month. How in the world can y'all sign him? So that's one thing free agency has taught me. And then y'all already know what I'm about to say. Baker Mayfield will pay for his crimes, and he paying for them right now.
This man did that open letter. Oh my god!
This man done sent an open letter, and he ain't even gone from the team yet. We already knew what was gonna happen.
Tua have been dealing with the Deshaun rumors all year, and Tua ain't write no letter, bro. He just balled.
This ain't a rumor though. This like his team actually was like, "Fuck you, I'm going to another." I'm whole meeting.
Hey.
Didn't
they got
tell
a
him.
Chance to get Deshaun. Hey, torn labrum and all. They ain't even give him another chance. Kevin said, "I'm done with you."
Tell you said, "Rest in piss." Rest in piss.
Man, rest in piss. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got to say. Odell free, and we all know that it was Baker. Now it was Baker the whole time. It was Baker, man. He ran the show from the jump. When he got there, he Hugh Jackson, the whole Hugh Jackson debacle of him being a head coach, and then they hired Freddie Kitchens because Baker liked Freddie Kitchens and he was his QB coach, and then that was terrible. And then they got an outside hire with Kevin Stefanski. Baker had his little good year.
I like Kevin.
I like Kevin too.
I like Kevin.
He's gonna have to get traded.
Yeah, I mean, like, so it's just, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I think people are finally seeing that. I don't know about Browns fans. Browns fans still openly defending him for some reason. I don't know why. I
don't like nothing about Baker game. Nothing.
Y'all think
high step ruins any positive that it might
bro,
have.
it's nothing. What does he do good? Like, I just want to know.
The high step, no. He's seen too many Lamar highlights.
I'm taking Daniel Jones over Baker. I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you, I'm taking Daniel. I seen Daniel do way more shit. I don't get it, bro.
Daniel at least ran 22 miles an hour.
You guys think Devontae gonna take that franchise tag they about to get him?
No.
He gonna turn down $21 million to not play, to sit out?
You see what Christian Kirk got?
Yes.
I'm at the crib.
You see what Christian Kirk
got? What did Christian Kirk get a year? What did Christian Kirk get a year though? I thought it was 70 for 5 years.
It was for 4 years.
So it's 4 for 72. If you look at like the sport track, it's 4 for 72, 37 guaranteed. So it's just under 20 a year, I think, when you like get into the actuals of it.
So
regardless is an overpay, regardless.
So if it's 20 a year, that's less than what Devontae will get this year. So do you not take the pay, like, because you have no choice, right?
Wait, that's more than like Amari Cooper is getting, or like, I mean, all these other great receivers are getting. That's more like Keenan Allen getting, Stephon Diggs is getting, like, what
Christian
the list
Kirk
goes
is a tier
on.
3 receiver.
He's
so
never
what do you
gone
do?
over 1,000 yards. Like,
you just sit out the season and not take the money?
yes.
Forget them. Yes. Give me my money.
Because there's not a chance they do it. A big contingency in them getting Aaron Rodgers back was you coming to play. If you are going to sit on your ass and then ruin Aaron Rodgers and then he threatens to bounce out and say, I'll retire. Ruined.
So you're saying you think they're going to make a deal for him?
They have to.
They have to.
They signed everybody but him, though. That's the crazy.
I mean, Za'Darius is already gone.
No, it's not even Za'Darius. It's like Jair. It's like
I know
it was some other people.
It ain't official. They said they trying to, but I'm like, Devontae should be your first priority. Za'Darius is with the Ravens. Signed like 4 years.
The Packers fuck up every single game.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, if I'm Devontae, I'm at the crib
and
playing COD.
I can see why they did it. Like they brought back what the hell is their linebacker? They brought back their linebacker. Like obviously they still have Rashawn Gary. No, not Preston Smith.
They brought back Preston
their middle linebacker though. He had a pretty good year. His name is escaping me, but obviously Rashawn Gary. It says they're still trying to. Obviously extend Jair, one of the best quarters in football. They got both their running backs tied down. You have Bakhtiari and pretty much your whole line. So, like, the big losses are Za'Darius, but they didn't have him all year already. So they're probably like, is it really a loss? Like, we got as far as we did without him. Obviously, they didn't have Jair pretty much all year, and he, like, barely played in that game that they lost.
Last playoff game.
Yeah, so I think they kind of, like, in their head, they're like, we got this far, and we're not really going to lose any. They might lose like Adrian Amos or something like that. Like for the most part, if you figure out a way, because they can afford to pay Devontae. Like it's just the long-term commitment. You got to figure out your situation.
Look, Devontae, stay home. Don't go there and take that franchise. You know that though. He know that though. Don't take that franchise. He's been the best receiver in the league for 2 years. Forget that. For
2 years, bro.
2-3 years, he been the best receiver, bro. No, y'all not gonna do me like that. No.
They should have fucking got rid of the franchise tag when they did their collective bargaining.
What?
They probably won't go on. They for sure was not going.
That's something they could have got rid of.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
the franchise tag it's not all the way bad if you getting overpaid what you worth.
If you're
like
Devontae
some of these
Adams,
people are
right. There's some people that get overpaid because of the franchise tag.
Right.
If you Devontae Adams or you Chris Godwin, you should not be. But for the Chris Godwin, they are working towards getting, like they're saying we're gonna give him a long-term deal.
Right.
So like we hadn't really heard anything about Devontae. They just like, hey, we need you to take the tag. Like Devontae, like rightfully so, saying like, no, like I don't want to take the tag.
Like Cam Robinson, the tackle for the Jags, he's he's an average tackle, but they franchise tagged him. He's getting paid out of his ass to be an average tackle, you know,
for the year.
like just because they wanted to keep him around. Like he's gonna take that. I'll take that franchise tag because it's probably what I would make on a 2-3 year deal, probably on this 1 year alone from a franchise tag. So,
what about Carson Wentz?
What about him?
That was a trade.
Yeah,
we talked about him
Rest
last year
in
a little
piss.
bit.
Oh, we did last week. Okay, I was about to say
Yeah.
I was about to say I just like pissing on bad quarterbacks.
So to talk, I guess since we were talking about receivers, Christian Kirk, Russell Gage goes to Tampa, Zay Jones and Jackson.
That's a
So
good
what
sign.
the fuck is Jacksonville doing? They paid Zay Jones. They overpaid like average, like so many
Evan
average
Ingram,
players. Like this is what
Darius Williams.
happens.
O-lineman.
This is what happens when your owners get involved in like running teams. I forget what their last name is.
Shad
Khan.
Shad
Yeah.
Khan.
You think he that involved?
Yes, I think
Yeah,
it's in
he's
his.
very
Yeah,
involved.
he's
He's very
overly
involved.
involved. Like I think that's why some coaches don't go there because he says
He's playing
he's gonna,
Madden, bro.
Yeah, because he says that he's gonna be involved in like player decisions. Like I. And
Oh yeah,
I think
You had. I wonder how much like DJ was asking for.
I would've
bro, they
paid
let
DJ
go
for
Miles
Zay.
Jack.
Well, how much did Zay get paid?
More, a lot.
He got paid.
It was
lot
like
more
I
than
think it was like
DJ?
10. I think it was like 3 for 10 a year, like 3 for 30 or something like that. Like it was.
I'd rather just keep.
I think it was like 30
Bro, they
something.
let go of Miles Jack, bro. Like,
And he
come
signed
on.
with Pittsburgh, I believe.
He already
He
signed.
signed. I don't think he signed yet.
He about to replace Devin
Oh, is
Willis.
that recent?
I think he signed with
Oh, he did.
Pittsburgh.
It was
Let me
Pittsburgh.
see.
It was
That's a
Pittsburgh.
solid squad to get on.
If that's that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
They
you
nice.
got Bush. You got Bush coming back hopefully, and then him.
Alright.
So that's a nice.
Minka,
They got a new
Yeah.
linebacker
TJ.
coach, too.
That's nice.
yeah,
We know who
like,
the
they
linebacker
probably-
coach is.
don't know who
unsigned,
he is,
unsigned wide receiver
It's
still.
Brian Flores. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I think Brian Flores is the linebackers coach. He won. He a defensive
Hey.
coach for one of them positions.
They got
I think he is a linebacker coach though.
Too bad they got
so-
Trubisky. Did you guys see the Steelers took Trubisky?
Yeah, 2 for
I like that pickup.
14. I think that's indicative of how the NFL views this quarterback class. That's what I
Yeah.
really think.
Yeah.
this
Take
is.
Malik
Like,
Willis, or I mean, they could still take.
but they're at
no,
20 or
they
something.
can-
They're like at like 20. Like
You already
I don't know
got.
if any-
you got.
I don't know
Mitchell
if anybody
Trubisky,
take the-
Rudolph and Haskins. I mean, you can cut
Somebody
one.
getting
but
let go. It's either
Rudolph is
Rudolph
the
or
worst
Dwayne.
football player I have
Yeah.
ever seen in the NFL.
He don't need to be in the league. He need to be in the XFL.
Where the helmet?
He do not need. And look, bro, with all seriousness, in his exit meeting, Buddy really thought he was gonna be starting next year. I'm like, Mason, it's not happening. Grab a clipboard. Hey, Johnson nose down. It's not happening. You're not gonna be the starter in Pittsburgh. They would riot in that city if he became the starter.
He
Going
sucked.
from, I mean, Big Ben, like it goes to show you they had Big Ben was immobile for the last 3 years, and they would rather have him. He couldn't throw over 30 yards. They would rather have him than Mason Rudolph. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about Mason Rudolph. So they either, if they, I guess, end up drafting a quarterback, because I don't even think a quarterback goes high anymore. I mean, maybe if a team like, let's say
My
if like,
quarterback
if
thing just out the window. that I was
if
talking
Carolina miss on like, if Carolina miss on like,
about.
if
My whole Malik
Carolina
Willis shit
miss,
is just gone.
yeah, if Carolina miss on like Deshaun and he end up going elsewhere, maybe they go get a quarterback. But they gotta actually like be in love with like a quarterback to go sign him. So I mean like, I don't know about this draft class. I mean, I could see the first quarterback getting taken all the way in like the later rounds. I mean, you know, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was saying earlier, or no, last week, is that I think that no matter how good Malik is, Malik could end up being good. I think he's everyone views him as the highest ceiling of this quarterback class. I still don't think anyone in this class is better than like the 5th quarterback of last class, which would arguably be at this point Justin. Was he 5th?
Who needs quarterback right now?
So,
everybody in the NFC?
So it depends how you say who needs a quarterback, right? Because there's teams like the Lions that need a quarterback, but they aren't going to take it because they aren't in that point of like, we need a quarterback to like level ourselves up. Like there's still so many holes. But then you have like team like Indy or Pittsburgh who they could use a really good quarterback, but there's no one out there to like
I think
plug
Jimmy
and
G
play.
gonna go to them.
I think that obviously Jimmy G's out there. He's going to fill one of those roles. Houston's rebuilding. So Matt Ryan, if Atlanta lands Deshaun, because it sounds like they've already talked to Matt and told him we're talking to Deshaun. Matt Ryan is a good candidate to go to a team like the Colts, and I think it would be actually a really good fit for both teams.
Oh yeah.
Because Matt Ryan is still like an average, slightly above average
quarterback. Phillip Rivers all over again.
Quarterback.
He a good quarterback. I won't call him average. He a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He better than Baker.
For sure.
Baker is the bar.
I guess so. Since I bring up Deshaun, we'll just keep rolling with it. Where do you think? I mean, I don't know if Cleveland actually happens because he has to waive his no trade, and I don't know if he actually wants to go to Cleveland. Like, I think roster wise, it looks nice, but he has to want to live in Cleveland, want to like be with that staff and such. And we know that essentially the NFC South is the front runner. Like, with the exception of Tampa Bay, it's Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta, and then possibly Cleveland. I don't know, like, if you guys were in his position looking at this, obviously Atlanta's been a late front runner. Like, who are you thinking? I got into a conversation the other day. Like, someone was like, Atlanta shouldn't be even close in this conversation. It's like, I don't think Atlanta should be as far off as like you think it should be compared to a situation like Carolina and New Orleans. Yeah, he's from Georgia.
That area.
Yeah, they have obviously Pitts. They have a decent enough line. They have a decent defense. Like, they scraped up being like almost 500 last year. Arthur Smith has been decent. I mean, I guess when you juxtapose it against like the Panthers and New Orleans, like without Sean Payton, and the Panthers was a mess last year. Like, I don't think it's that bad. Like, maybe Carolina has better weapons. Like,
I'm not going to Carolina based off of Matt Rule because it's just like as far as what I'm seeing with like his decision making and just like the whole Sam Darnold, because they could have drafted a quarterback and they went all in on Sam Darnold. They were like totally like committed on going in on Sam Darnold. The Joe Brady experiment, it didn't work. And they were kind of like they were a major disappointment this year. I still think the J.C. Horn pick is promising because like before he broke his foot, he was playing like as one of the top corners in the league. So I like that pick, but that's based off more of the player than the coach. But I think Atlanta really is a sleeper because like one, he's from there, and like given everything that like the light he's in now, he probably need to just be like near home, like right now, just based off of like the people that will be around him, how that state I guess had when he was in high school, he was like a high school legend, so how that state would see him and how they would like embrace him. I think the best bet for him would probably just to be to like go somewhere that's close to home. New Orleans is definitely appealing, but it's just like if you New Orleans, like what are you giving up to get him? Because I mean, obviously you're giving away picks, but I mean like they're gonna want a key veteran as well. They just paid Marshawn, they just paid Alvin, so obviously they won't leave. But I mean like somebody is some they got to give up something. So I think Atlanta really is in real contention, just based off the reasons that I listed. So
the thing is though, Atlanta would have, like Dre said, picks. Like Atlanta gonna have to give up their picks. Like it's not like something
for sure. They gonna have to
like
give up.
They
something.
all gonna have to. So that's what I'm saying. Like
I'm
Atlanta
leaving here with something.
They leaving here with something. Like it's not like you can just be like, I got Deshaun Watson, because that's what I'm thinking too. Like Atlanta might be a good fit, like culturally and like all that shit, but like they ain't got no receiving core. They gonna have to give up their picks. I would say you could draft some receivers in this draft,
but sorry to interrupt, but I know, didn't they say that, like, I mean, it's not tampering, but didn't they say Deshaun was like on like trying to talk to Allen, like let's go to Atlanta? Like he's like, if I get traded here, like wait to sign.
Allen who? Allen
Robinson? Yeah.
That's what they said. They said that free agents waiting on seeing where Deshaun goes.
Yeah, because you have like Teron Armstead's like waiting in New Orleans to like see like before he signs, like he's thinking about coming back.
They're waiting on him to see where he goes. So everybody pretty much waiting to see what his decision gonna be, to see how that affects their decision and how they go forward.
Okay, you want him on your team, like so since like even with the civil cases going on and stuff.
Man, yes.
I'm not gonna get too deep in that.
I'm not gonna get deep in that, but I need a football player, man.
I'm not gonna get too deep in that.
I'll pay you to throw the ball, man. We gonna get we gonna yes.
I literally talked about earlier in this episode. I really struggle to like separate people. I think I would struggle to like root for Deshaun, but like I can understand like why like someone would want him. Like it's you watch football, you want good football players. Like I said, I'm not gonna condemn anyone for that.
I will say this: if I'm Atlanta, I know Atlanta ain't thinking about they want him because of just how what they have gone as an organization, the heartbreak, and just coming so short. Like they are like one of the most like, but in terms of like football, like they have been heartbroken so many times, but just teams that have so much potential.
Like, so many times.
And the like wide receivers that are out there, there's like a still pretty solid wide receiver group that's out there. I propose that like, does Julio go back to Atlanta if Deshaun like goes there?
Julio.
And he wasn't. Julio, I'm not saying like Julio was that good, but like if Julio's your wide receiver 3, like and Allen Robinson comes, Jarvis Landry's out there. I heard that Deshaun was called Will Fuller because obviously Will Fuller had been his man in Houston. Like you can throw together a decent core along with Kyle Pitts and with Arthur Smith and like
they got a running back.
Not really.
Mike
but,
Davis.
You can draft
they can figure it out. And I mean Deshaun threw for 4,800 with Brandon Cooks and Kenny Stills. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Brandon Cooks, but he threw for 4,800. That year, like I was literally in an argument the other day because I was like, that year he was like the second best quarterback in football. Like he was pushing Patrick Mahomes, and people don't realize and someone was like, are you insane? Like to think that he's better than Tom Brady? I was like, Doug, if I put him on the Bucs, he's throwing 60 touchdowns. Like Deshaun is that.
Bro, I get like
that argument had to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I get like he still got the civil cases pending, and it's hard for people to separate. And it's hard for me to separate the two. But it's just like on the field, he is elite. Before we had this emergence of like these young quarterbacks this past year, it was him. The argument was Patty and him for like who gonna be facing each other in the AFC every year. And I know people forgot because and the Texans, they were not the best. They were not built the best.
Deshaun was fighting for his life.
He was fighting, and Bill O'Brien continued to make terrible decisions as a GM and kept leaving Deshaun out there to save the organization. But like before he got suspended last year, it was him and Patty. This is gonna be the new Tom Brady and versus Peyton Manning. People were saying that. I know like. He still got the civil cases to go through, and it's hard. Like I said, it's hard for people to separate. But like we can't he is an elite quarterback. Like he is a generational quarterback. So I mean, in terms of skill, like there's no question about like is he elite or not? No, he is elite.
What do you think you got to give up to get him? Like, because you got to think about it. Like,
so
a whole lot.
Go ahead.
So with the Russell Wilson trade, they gave up 2 firsts, and we'll probably get past this, and I probably have to get out of here because we're coming up in time. But the Russell Wilson cost them 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and like 2 good players. Like Fant was a first-round tight end, and they gave up that DN. So you have to think for a guy that's 6 years younger and arguably better, it's going to cost you 3 firsts. Like if they don't want to give up players too, because Atlanta doesn't have like key players to give up. Like you're not giving up Kyle Pitts, you're not giving up your tackles and stuff like that. So they're just gonna have to give picks. You're giving up 3 picks. Like, it's gonna be like some Ricky Williams type shit. Like 3 firsts, 3 seconds. Like you're getting like and then maybe like a third. I'm not even kidding. Like for that type of like player, like to get them. But like that's what it takes. And if they can get like Indianapolis to take Matt Ryan and his contract, because Indy got Washington to take Carson's contract, so Indy has the cap space. They have one of the biggest caps in the league. Indy can take on, if you can get him moved to Indianapolis, Matt Ryan, you have the cap space to bring in some guys. I'll offload 3 years worth of first. I mean, look. San Francisco gave up 3 firsts for Trey Lance. If you knew you're going to get a top 3 quarterback, I'm giving up 3 firsts and then some easily.
First round picks put seats in the building. They don't really. Right. You build your team around the rest of the team. Like they just get the people in the building. So I mean, like more. It's probably going to be more first round bust than it's going to be. I mean, and granted, it's more picks.
I'm giving the world the first. The
first round picks. They get the people in the seats. They don't really, you You don't really build your team around them.
So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Just name off a few more like big signings. Marcus Williams, 5 for 70, 37 guaranteed to Baltimore. Big for them.
Ravens always sign a safety.
Available safeties out there. Tyrann Mathieu, Landon Collins got cut. So we'll see where they go. Chase Edmonds is the only, I think, like notable running back. He goes to Miami for what it's worth. Leonard Fournette and Melvin Gordon are still out there. So we'll see. Obviously, Melvin's kind of old, but Leonard coming off a pretty good year.
Lenny should have a payday.
Yeah. Mitch, obviously we talked about him going to Pitt, 2 for 14. Tyrod goes to backup Daniel in New York. Teddy goes to backup Tua in Miami. Jameis, Marcus, and Ryan still out there. So maybe one of those teams that needs a quarterback tries to make a run with like a Marcus or a Jameis. We'll see.
Marcus, bro.
Vaughn signs his. Tennessee brought Harold back. Randy Gregory, 5 for 70 in Denver. I heard that Dallas offered him the same thing to stay, but they had something about his like in his contract to where like it could go void if he like had some more off the field shit. And I heard Jerry Jones was pissed about it because I heard like it wasn't him that did it. So he chose Denver. Chandler Jones to Las Vegas. Darius
How
Smith
you
to
not
Baltimore.
check that though?
I heard that who's their GM? Like he like kind of like snuck it in there.
Steven, was it his son?
Yeah, Steven Jones. I heard like that it wasn't Jerry.
How you do like how
Jerry's been super supportive of him his whole like thing. So
yeah, Jerry was giving Randy chance after chance. So I'm just like you just sneak that in and that's crazy.
Some unsigned linebackers still: Leighton Vander Esch, Bobby Wagner, Donta Hightower. Obviously, like 3 kind of different guys, but I mean Leighton, it's so weird. He had such a good rookie year and then just kind of fell off really hard.
Injuries.
But tackles: Brian Bulaga, Trent Brown, Teron Armstead, like we said, is waiting. Jacksonville picks up Brandon Scherf, and Cincinnati picks up Alex Coppola at guard. So some pretty good guard pays. And New York Giants pick up Laken Tomlinson. So some guards got some good money to protect those young quarterbacks for sure. And J.C. Jackson, I heard he took a pretty good cut to go to the Chargers. What? Yeah, I heard that. I mean, I heard the market for him would have pushed over 20 a year or like around 20. And I mean, he got 5 for 82. So he didn't quite get 20 a year, averaged around 18. So I heard the market was better than that for him, but he wanted to go to the Chargers.
Want that ring, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Whew.
Stefan, Joe Hayden, Kyle Fuller still out there. But that's, I mean, a lot of the guys for the most part. We'll get into a lot of this free agent and draft stuff in the coming weeks. But, you know, we'll let you guys go. A lot still to unwrap here. But, you know, hopefully you guys have a good week. Thanks for tuning in. That's episode 7. Peace out.